Good morning, I'm Bali Dlamini. Following another attempted assassination on a person mentioned at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, police have reiterated they are willing to provide witness protection. Yesterday, Viandre Pretorius narrowly escaped death after he was fired at 16 times by unknown gunmen just outside his house in Boksburg. Testimony by the late witness D, Marius van der Merwe, linked Pretorius to the torture and killing of a Brakpan man whose body was dumped at a lake in Germiston. Thabiso Koba reports.
The assassination attempt on Viandre Pretorius comes 2 months after the killing of witness D, whose real name was Marius van der Merwe. Before that, there was also an assassination attempt on controversial businessman Bran Mogoti prior to him appearing before the Madlanga Commission. All three of these incidents took place in Gauteng. Provincial Police Commissioner Tomim Tombeni says it's too early to confirm whether they're all linked.
But safe to say, in terms of the process relating to the witness protection, as the South African Police Service, where we are investigating the case and it's clearly that there is a need for a witness to go through a witness protection, we will, of course, do the necessary, linking up with the NPA.
In the meantime, Pretorius was seen with police around his home yesterday, and when asked by reporters how he was feeling, he said he was okay. Thabiso Koba, Eyewitness News.
At the same time, a senior police official who claims she was in a romantic relationship with suspected crime boss Vusimuzi Kat Matlala says the money she received from him was not a bribe but romantic gifts. Section Head for Quality Management at SAPS, Rachel Majeng, testified before the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry yesterday. Her testimony focused on the irregular 360 million rand tender which was awarded to a company linked to Matlala for the provision of health services. It was revealed Majeng received over 300,000 rand from Matlala a few months after his company bagged the multi-million rand tender. But Majeng says she played no role in the tender being awarded to Matlala and disclosed to her superiors her relationship with the businessman.
And I further asked if I should recuse myself from the responsibility of managing the medical surveillance and biological monitoring program. Major General Manamela indicated that this is part of my scope of work and cannot relegate that responsibility.
But Commissioner Mbuyiseli Madlanga says it was very strange there was no terms of endearment in any of the WhatsApp messages between Matlala and Majeng.
As romantically involved people, did you and Mr. Matlala have any terms of endearment like love, babe, hun, etc.?
Yes, Commissioner. I am not a romantic person. I'm not into calling people honey, love, or whatever, but I'll give you a pet name. For him, I was calling him Mr. V, and from his side, he was calling me Diva.
To Parliament now, where DAMP Diane Kohler-Barnard has been grilled by her fellow members of the Police Ad Hoc Committee who questioned her handling of classified information. While Kohler-Barnard has defended sharing information about the purchase of a property by crime intelligence, members of the committee put her to task yesterday and questioned her motive. But she says the information that she released about the 23 million rand purchase of a luxury hotel through an intelligence slush fund was already in the public domain. She was testifying before Parliament's ad hoc committee investigating allegations of police corruption. Babalondenze has more.
Diane Kohler-Barnard, an alternate member of the ad hoc committee probing police corruption, found herself on the other side of the fence as she faced questions from her colleagues. Mkhwanazi had earlier submitted that Barnard broke the law when she shared the information in a press statement. ANC MP Kusela Diko questioned whether sharing the information was well advised as a member of the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence.
Now, this issue of these properties, and the one I know that there's even an address that's put on there, when you consider it, you don't think that there's fitting reasons or that would compel you to handle these matters in a different way?
But Kohler-Barnard says she disagrees and won't cover up what she thinks is irregular.
Absolutely don't. I'm not here to cover up things. I'm not here to certainly cover up anything I believe has smells of corruption.
The committee will now call in another MP, Fadil Adams, who will also answer to similar allegations of using classified information. Babalondenza, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
We shift our focus to this now. Potential investors at Lily Mine near Barberton in Mpumalanga say efforts to resume operations are still being hampered by red tape. The gold mine shut its doors in 2016 and went under business rescue after a structural collapse that claimed 3 lives. The remains of Pritin Kambule, Yvonne Mnisi and Solomon Nyerende remain underground after the lamp room they were working in sank during the collapse. It's been 10 years since the tragedy. Dambo reports.
There have been repeated attempts to reopen the Lily gold mine, which at its prime employed more than 1,000 people. The process to exit business rescue has been stalled by continuous litigation. Fred Arnser, the CEO of Siakula Sonke Empowerment, a corporation vying to revive Lily Mine, had this to say about the stalled process.
And the sad part is the gold price is incredibly high at the moment. Now imagine if the mine was in production from 2019. We would have commemorated in a much positive way today, celebrating the memory of our 3 colleagues.
The mine's largest creditor is currently mining investment company Akomanzi, which purchased Standard Bank's loan claims against Vantage Goldfields. Nogukanyam Dambo, Eyewitness News.
And in Cuba, President Miguel Diaz-Canel says the country is prepared to hold dialogue with the United States, but not under pressure. This follows months of threats from U.S. President Donald Trump. Trump has vowed to cut off Cuba's access to oil, stating the island was ready to fall, warning it to make a deal with Washington before it's too late. Diaz-Canel says any talks with the U.S. must take place from a position of equals and without interference in Cuba's internal affairs. Cuban officials blame U.S. sanctions for Cuba's worst economic crisis in decades, marked by shortages of fuel, food and medicine. But observers say poor economic management and a tourism collapse following the COVID-19 pandemic contributed to the island's woes. Gold is trading at $4,820.63 an ounce. The rand is at 16.22 to the dollar, 21.98 to the pound, 19.12 to the euro, and Brent crude oil is at $69.46 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays already on the Makwan North. This is just as you come out of Boyson's Road. There's also queuing traffic in the city of Tshwane along the N1 North towards the Fakomakhato Road.
And in your sport, Bafana set up 2 international fixtures for next month against Panama. France throw down 6 Nations marker early in the competition with the hammering of Ireland. And Sri Lanka urged Pakistan to reconsider India game boycotts at the T20 World Cup.
A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng today. Joburg starting at lows of 17 degrees, peaking at 31. Pretoria 17 and 33. Vereeniging also at a low of 17 and a high of 29 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour, following another attempted assassination of a person mentioned at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. Police have reiterated they are willing to provide witness protection.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app. Your brain's a well-oiled machine. Now put it to work in the brain of 702. Enter on primemediaplus.com. T's and C's apply.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
9 minutes after 6 o'clock, it is a Friday. It's the 6th of February. We've got Dan Corder on the show. He's going to be our guest for Political Desk. So he was at this sold-out venue, pre-planned weeks ago, possibly even months ago, with the Cape Town Mayor, Jordan Hill-Lewis, last night. Pure coincidence that John Steenhuisen threw a bombshell into the DA race for the next leader. And Dan Corder says, blink once. So I can't ask you this question, but just blink once if you're going to be the next DA leader. And of course, at some point, Jordan Hill-Lewis must blink. We've been focusing on service delivery issues. You remember, we spoke about Midrand, but there are other parts of Joburg without water. And if you are affected, do let us know on 072 702 1702. So what we've decided to do, and I know it's early days yet, but no time like the present, right? We're going to invite those that seek the mayoral chains in Johannesburg to talk to us about what they're observing and what solutions they offer. So first up is Helen Ziller. Do you think I should ask her to blink once if she wants to talk about the DA leadership race? That's coming up.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
My name is Bongani Bingwa, and of course, as always, I'm with a team of colleagues behind the scenes. There's KG Start the Clock, Baphelile and Ropfiwa, the producers behind the scenes. And if you're watching us, by the way, on our live stream on YouTube, you can see them in the booth. I posted a video on my Instagram yesterday for the Whiz Quiz, the kid who won yesterday, 10-year-old Blessing, who won 10,000 Rand. And you can see Baphelile running up and down in the producer's booth yesterday. Very, very excited. So if you've watched us on YouTube, those are the people I am talking about. And you know what the cool thing about watching us on YouTube, by the way, is whilst you're getting ready, I don't know, ironing your clothes, making your coffee, making your breakfast, you can have us obviously on your computer or on your TV at home, and then segue very nicely when you get into your car on your way to work. That solves everything, right? So the show continues even in the car, and it can continue when you get to the office and you're sitting at the desk, or you're playing us on your earphones at the gym. That's a little detail. So yeah, you can absolutely do that and watch us on our live stream on YouTube. But it being a Friday, what else are we going to do? What are we waiting for? A one, two, three. It's a Friday. It's a Friday. It's a Friday. Those, of course, are the voices of my colleagues Amoramila and Muteo Kharipa. Good morning to you two.
Good morning, Bongs.
Happy Friday. A happy Friday.
It is.
Once you too.
We got to the end of the week.
We did. I've got a question for you, and I want you to really think about it. How much does money matter in the modern relationship? How much does money matter in the modern relationship? Can you separate money and love? Can there be love without money? How much is a relationship premised on the idea that at least one of you has money? Doesn't have to be both.
Yeah.
I'm not saying whether it's the man or the woman, but at least one of you must have it. And how much have you had to carry a relationship financially? And what does that cost you? I'd love to hear, you know what I'd love to hear from? I want to know, when you send us your WhatsApp voice note, if you're a first-time caller, as it were, if you're sending this voice note for the first time, if you're a long-time listener, I'm keen to hear from you too. Send us a WhatsApp voice note on 072-702-1702. You can call us, of course, on 011-883-0702 if you choose to. You can be anonymous if you so wish. But how much does money matter in the modern relationship? Amo, do you want to have a first bite at the cherry?
I think money makes a lot of things convenient. And so it does in a relationship. So if it is that we are in a relationship and we are dating, if we want to go out to have lunch or whatever, money is needed.
Yeah.
So it makes a lot of things convenient.
So we can't both be broke?
Unfortunately not. And if it happens that you get broke, maybe because of circumstances that we can't foresee coming, then, you map up a way to find yourself out of that. But before then, there must be...
It must be a temporary situation.
It must be a very temporary situation. It must be permanent.
Okay. Muteo?
It'll always matter. It'll always matter, especially in the beginning of the relationship, because you don't know each other, and there's that awkwardness of who gets the bill, who doesn't. If I said we must go on the date, are you the one paying? But it'll always matter because of just how society is set up. I mean, everything needs money to function.
Can I ask for transport money in the first week?
Oh, no, I'm out. I'm out of there.
That's a red flag.
I'm out of there. You can't take care of yourself. I'm out of there.
Amo, can I ask for transport money in the first week?
It depends. Really, it depends. If it is that maybe, let's say you are going to an interview, or your money, your card, you can't access your money for some reason. Maybe your card was,
Okay, I won't like that
if
one.
you have a reasonable excuse, Bongani.
Well, I can't access my card.
Yes, or I can't find my card, or my electricity is down, and I can't use my phone. If the reason is valid.
Going for an interview, I get.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't access my card. Hi. Muteo?
Almost too much of a green flag. He understands everything.
Everything.
So.
Now, does it matter in terms of gender roles who has the money? Muteo?
No.
It shouldn't. Listen to my question.
Yeah.
As Jacob Zuma would say, listen properly. Listen properly. I understand that it shouldn't. I think you and I can agree as evolved men of the 21st century, right? It shouldn't. But does it? Because we have seen a change in society, right?
Mm-hmm.
Many women, in fact, outpace men in terms of their earnings, but have gender roles in relationships shifted as much?
The adjustment hasn't happened yet. So we are in a society where more and more women, thankfully, are earning more money. And sometimes, depending on the relationship, it could be the woman that's earning more.
Yeah, it often is.
That's where the adjustment needs to happen. Now, is it both parties letting go of the gender roles? Because it's not just the man that has to adjust as well. If you are earning more and you still expect your man to take up the bill, then, are we moving forward? So it's a very sticky conversation.
Because even the concept of the lobola, for example, on some level, it assumes he has the money for it.
Yeah, no, but you have to show that is the gender role, that you can take care of your family.
Even though the person I want to lobola may completely outpace me in terms of our earnings, I'm still expected to be the one to fork out money.
You still have to earn your keep.
I'll tell you why I'm asking that question. Coming up.
Hey, Bongs. Good morning, 702 listeners. Money plays a big role. If there's no money, that relationship will be strained. Money and love go together.
You're with Bongani Bingwa.
702 weekday mornings, 6 to 9 a.m.
I'm asking the question because, as no doubt you heard in Eyewitness News at the top of the hour, and if you followed the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry yesterday, things really got heated up when one of the witnesses who took the stand, a senior police official who was in a questionable relationship, shall we say, right, with the suspected crime boss, Vusumuzi Kat Matlala. She received money from him, and she was in a role that oversaw the tender that he won for SAPS. Remember the 360 million rand? And she was so convinced that money is a normal part of relationships that that's the explanation she chose to go with at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. The real issue was she doesn't deny that she got money from Matlala. She doesn't obviously deny that she was in a role that would have overseen the work that he was supposed to do with SAPS. But instead of it being gratification, a bribe, she says, no, it wasn't a bribe. We were boyfriend and girlfriend. He would just occasionally, Fapa, 100,000 rand. Fapa, 300,000 rand. Because it was Mjolo money. Have a listen.
I met Mr. Matlala early in the year 2017 through a colleague who downloaded my photo on her WhatsApp status. The following day, she told me that my picture have attracted a lot of people and there is a guy named Kat who requested her my contact. She asked for my permission if she should give him my contact. I then asked more information about this Kat guy and she briefly described him. I then gave her permission to give Mr. Matlala my contact number. We then started talking with Kat and ended having a romantic relationship. We had an on and off cycle relationship.
But of course, it had to be 6 months, only after 6 months, after he got the nearly 360 million rand SAPS tender, that the money started flowing. Huh? The commissioners were having none of it.
Say the 23rd of January 2025, 12:03, and there you simply say confirmed. The point I want to make about all these is that they sound businesslike. All of those that I've read sound businesslike. And in fact, I've gone through all the texts. All of them are like that, businesslike. I find it very strange that this is how people who are romantically involved would write to each other. Do you wish to comment?
Yes, Commissioner, as I have my previous comment, to say that we will have our regular phone calls whereby we will talk our affairs, and on WhatsApp, like I said, I'm not a romantic person.
In fact, at some point, the commissioners are asking her, you didn't even refer to each other as babe, right? There were no terms of endearment in the relationship. And she says, yeah, but I'm not romantic.
So it will...
Would you be romantic during those phone calls in terms of using terms of endearment, for example?
Sometimes, depending on...
But only using Mr. V, nothing else?
Yes, I only use Mr. V.
So that's what you mean by being romantic during the phone calls.
That's correct. But I'm also inviting the commission to investigate.
But please, just let's not get distracted. Please answer my question. My question was, do you agree that it is very strange that people who are romantically involved would talk in this business-like manner? Do you accept that or not?
I do not accept, Commissioner, because it will differ from one person to another.
Mr. V, hey? I don't want to focus too much on that part of the commission because we could be here until the cows come home. I want to talk about how much transactions have become normalized as a part of relationships in our society. What does it say about us that this woman's best explanation as to why she was receiving money from a supplier who had won a tender worth hundreds of millions of rands within or from the organization that she worked for, that her best explanation was, yeah, but we were romantic. How normalized has money become that that's what she thought would fly? Let's talk.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
Mutel, you've got a question of your own?
Yeah, I want to know this morning, have you thanked yourself for making tough, brutal decisions in your life? And when you look back in the long run, has it worked out for you?
Yes. Every time.
Cutting people off?
Yes. Every time. Every time. It doesn't always happen easily.
Yeah.
Nor does it always happen quickly. But when I have, absolutely.
Not fun to make the decision, but in the long run,
yes,
you feel
once you do it
a little lighter.
Yes.
Amu?
Yeah, and most of the time it's health reasons. Sometimes you take time to check in on yourself because of you don't have the time. But on the times that I would have, and I figured that, oh, actually, I was really sick. I just didn't give myself time to go to the doctor or to
live a healthier lifestyle.
live a healthier lifestyle. Yeah.
I'll tell you why I'm asking.
702.
Weather.
A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng today. Temperatures maxing at 31 degrees in Johannesburg. Your high in Vereeniging is 29. Pretoria, 33. Durban, partly cloudy, also isolated showers, maxing at 32 degrees. Your high in Gqeberha is 29. Cape Town, also 29.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic is brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand. Amo?
Well, Bongani, we've got an accident reported on the M1 North. It's right near Melrose, Corlett Drive. It's causing heavy traffic volumes. Please be on the lookout there as you head towards areas like Sandton. Then if you're traveling on the Maiqua North, we've got peak time delays. This is between Xavier Street and Boysons Road. And there's also queuing traffic in the city of Tshwane along the R80 right as you approach Eskom Patlele Drive exit. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. The Outsurance pointsmen know that every car on the road carries a story. There's a car with a family driving to their new home, carrying boxes stacked with plates and toys and memories. The Outsurance pointsmen know it's not just a car in traffic, it's a new beginning, a fresh start on the move. Every story's different and every story matters. That's why the Outsurance pointsmen have been doing what they do since 2005 in proud partnership with 702. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
Start your day with Bongani Bingwa
On 702. Let's walk the talk.
25 minutes after 6 o'clock, things you need to know at this hour. Adam Gilchrist is going to tell us about the expiration of that nuclear arms control treaty between the US and Russia. Once it's gone, there'll be no formal limits on the world's two largest nuclear arsenals. The deal, known as New START, capped how many nuclear warheads each side could deploy and allowed for inspections and data sharing. And when that expires, there'll be no way to know what the other side is doing. On this day, 1959, engineer Jack Kilby filed a patent for the microchip. It's a tiny invention that completely changed the world. It fits multiple electronic components onto a single piece of material, and it's laid, or at least it did lay the groundwork for the modern technologies we enjoy today, from smartphones to satellites. If you're in Kenya, here's a thought. If you're thinking of getting creative for Valentine's Day, maybe don't. So the central bank in Kenya is warning against people who are turning banknotes into flower bouquets. Influencers may love the look, but the central bank says it damages money and it messes with ATMs, so don't do it. Doctors in Barcelona, have carried out the world's first face transplant using tissue from a donor who died through euthanasia. It was a 24-hour operation involving around 100 medical professionals. The patient had lost the ability to eat and breathe after a severe infection. In total, there have been now just over 50 face transplants around the world.
A real face-off.
A real face-off.
Wow.
And there was no John Travolta or
Nicolas
Nick Cage in it. Oh man, which do you choose? Two icons were born on this day. Bob Marley. No, that's Marvin Gaye. That's not Bob Marley. Okay, KG. It's a Friday. We'll forgive him. It's Bob Marley and Natalie Cole. Marley was born in Jamaica, rising from Trench Town to become a global voice of reggae, resistance, and Rastafarianism. His music carried messages of freedom, unity, and political consciousness. Natalie Cole, the daughter of the late great Nat King Cole, born in LA in 1950, carved out her own legacy beyond that of her father. She won multiple Grammys and that massive success with Unforgettable with Love. Which one would you choose? Bob Marley or Natalie Cole? Hey, maybe we don't have to, hey? Happy birthday to them both.
702.
The newspapers.
The newspapers. Mbali Dlamini?
A very good morning, Bongs. How are
No
you?
romance without finance?
I wanted to speak a lot about that money bouquet, but yeah, you kind of beat me to it because I love Valentine's Day. And what better gift than money?
As a bouquet?
How?
That's how you end up at commissions of inquiry.
Well, yeah, clearly.
What you got?
The only other story that I'm looking at, Bongani, I think we take for granted how difficult it is for people to actually fill up their fridges with something to eat. The Mail and Guardian it has an article that's running. It's on the page 6 this morning. Hunger rising sharply across South African households. And it's based on a study, according to Food Forward SA's flagship State of Household Food Insecurity in the country. That's a report for 2026. It says between 2019 and 2023, the country's severe hunger rate rose from 6.4% to 8%, leaving roughly 1 million more people going days without food. These are people who not only have to skip meals or pick which meal they have, they go just days without something to eat.
The front page of the Sowetan going big on this story. Girlfriend allowance, or was it a cool drink? But I'm really fascinated by the Mail and Guardian, and they are already looking at PM27. Do you want to know what PM27 is? It is the possible tagline, if you will, for an imagined campaign for the ANC leadership for one Patrice Motsepe.
Oh.
Remember there was CR17?
CR17.
PM27 is being spoken of more and more within ANC circles. You can read all about it in the Mail and Guardian today.
EWN Business.
Brutal decisions. How tough are they to make? And do you regret them or do you celebrate them later? Cutting people off who are toxic. Deciding that you're not an empath. They're just horrible. Lifestyle changes. Leaving a job that maybe affected your mental health, even though it paid well. Ooh. What prompts all these difficult questions, Mattel?
It's been a tough time for ArcelorMittal. Struggling steel producer ArcelorMittal says shutting down its long steel operations in South Africa has already given the business some breathing room. Last year, the steel group shut down its long steel units in Newcastle and Vereeniging, affecting more than 3,000 jobs. Arcelor is struggling with weak demand, high electricity costs, and increased competition from cheaper Chinese imports and local scrap metal businesses. Now, making the tough decision to cut the long steel operations seems to be already paying off. Losses have narrowed to 3.3 billion rand, down from 5.1 billion last year. The world's second largest steelmaker reported fourth quarter core profit beating market expectations. Its shares have also risen 3% in early trade yesterday, hitting their highest level since August 2011. Its stocks have gained more than 25% since the start of the year. Still struggles to continue some of its crude steel productions. Those sales were down 12%. The SA unit, which is two-thirds owned by a Luxembourg-based ArcelorMittal group, is in talks with the state-owned Industrial Development Corporation for a possible takeover.
Gosh, where's the rand?
16 rand 26 against the US dollar, far stronger.
It's trending the wrong way.
No, it's going the right way.
I liked it at 15,
was far weaker
15
yesterday.
something. Or 15.99, so.
Keep your fingers crossed. 19.17 against the euro and 22 rand 3 cents against the British pound. Price of gold at $4,822 an ounce, or platinum is down 1.5% at $1,960. Brent crude at $67.84 a barrel. More business after 7.
Coming up, Dan Corder, news commentator, comic, the host of the Dan Corder Report. That podcast joins us this week for this week's political wrap-up. In the meantime, Bali Dlamini, what do you have?
Thanks, Bongani. Good morning. Well, the Social Security Agency of South Africa says it is working with institutions such as SARS and credit bureaus to crack down on social grant abuse in the country. SASSA CEO Themba Matlou briefed the media yesterday on initiatives that the agency has undertaken to improve its systems. Matlou revealed that thousands of beneficiaries have been caught in the agency's latest verification drive. He says by strengthening data sharing partnerships with these institutions, SASSA is now better equipped to detect ineligible recipients. Ntutu Zalonene has more.
SASSA CEO Themba Matlou says around 70,000 grants have already been suspended after beneficiaries failed to comply with the review process. Matlou adds that investigations also uncovered cases where some individuals deliberately misrepresented their employment status to unlawfully access social grants.
Those people who want to get loans, and there must be a proof that I'm going to be able to pay back the money. That's why then they will then disclose that I do have another form of income. So that's why when we get the data from those institutions, it contradicts what SASSA has.
He says they'll continue to bolster efforts to protect public funds and restore integrity to the social assistance system. Ndutu Zelonene, Eyewitness News.
The DA says its focus is to first identify mayoral candidates in the rural municipalities across the country. This comes after the party named the first 8 of its 30 mayoral candidates for the Western Cape yesterday. During the announcement, the candidate for the city of Cape Town was notably not amongst them. While Cape Town Mayor Jordan Hill-Lewis has made it clear he will run again, pressure is now also mounting on him to simultaneously contest for the party's top job. Lindsay Dentlinger takes a look.
By the end of March, the DA says it would have named all its mayoral candidates for the province, including its flagship Metro. In a social media post, Cape Town Mayor Jordan Hill-Lewis says he's been approached by many members to stand for federal leader following John Steenhuisen's announcement. But he says he will only make his intentions known when nominations officially open on the 27th of February. However, Hill Lewis says whatever is decided, he remains committed to stand for a second mayoral term. Meanwhile, Steenhuisen said yesterday he remained committed to the party, despite backing off from another leadership race.
I believe I'm handing over a party in much better condition than the one that was handed to me in 2019. And I'm full of hope and full of confidence in the direction that our country is going as a result of the great strides that the DA has made.
Yesterday, Steenhuisen's campaign manager, Dean McPherson, said it was untrue Steenhuisen has been hounded out of leadership by disgruntled supporters and donors. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News.
To this now, the Elsie's River History Society hosted a memorial service for acclaimed poet and cultural activist Dr. Diana Ferris yesterday. Ferris, who died last week at the age of 72, is best known for her iconic poem, I've Come to Take You Home, dedicated to Sarah Baartman. After being showcased in a museum in France for 192 years, Baartman's remains were returned to South Africa in 2002, accompanied by Ferris, whose poem played an instrumental role in the repatriation. Family spokesperson Lenielle Hartzenberg says her aunt's passion came through in the countless writing workshops that she facilitated.
Her message was simple and radical. Use your voice. Write your story. Your life matters. Your history matters. Do not let others write for you. You write your own story.
And in Nigeria, the last group of Christians held captive since criminal gangs attacked 3 churches in Nigeria in January have now been released. The 89 worshippers, including children, arrived on a bus escorted by security forces in Kaduna State. Officials confirmed that a total of 183 people were initially abducted during the mass kidnappings. The attacks have piled international scrutiny on insecurity in Nigeria. Parts of Nigeria are plagued by armed gangs who loot villages and kidnap for ransom. Kidnappings for ransom are a common way for the armed groups to make quick cash in the conflict-hit nation. A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng today. Temperatures at lows of 17 degrees across the province, peaking at highs of between 29 and 31.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the M1 North. This is between Glenhove Road and Caller Drive due to an accident, as well as roadworks along this route. Please be on the lookout there. While travelling on the Mark 1 North towards the Joburg CBD, do expect heavy traffic volumes already between Boyson's Road and the Crown Interchange.
The top story in EWN, the Social Security Agency of South Africa says it is working with institutions such as SARS to crack down on social grant abuse in the country.
Congratulations to the recent Powerball jackpot winner who bagged a mind-blowing jackpot of over 178 million rand. Here's what they said.
Winning the second highest ever recorded Powerball jackpot in Mzansi through my FNB banking platform is unbelievable. I only played with a 15 rand wager. Thank you, Juba, for making my dream a reality.
Play Powerball and Powerball Plus for 41 million rand in total estimated jackpots this Friday, and you could win big. Buy your tickets now in store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app, cell phone banking, or simply dial *120 *7529 hash for USSD. Panda, Pusha, play. Players must be 18 years old or play responsibly. eTuba is a proud operator of the National Lottery.
At Checkers, 2026 is better with over 1,500 deals. Like Clover Butter Full Cream Modified Butter Spread, 500 grams for $79.99, save 20 rand. Nestle Mini Chocolate Fun Bags, any 2 for 89 rand, save 45 rand. And Finish Dishwasher Tablets, 45, 50 or 56 per pack for $229.99, save 55 rand. Valid until Sunday. Checkers, Checkers Hyper, or shop on 6060.
Need a seat? Try 7 or 5, it's your call. Want a sunroof? Make it a panoramic. Gotta have power? How does award-winning 138 kilowatt sound? The Changan CS75 Pro is big enough for the kids, smart enough for your playlist, and stylish enough for your Friday night too. Why settle when you can have it all without compromise? The Changan CS75 Pro. Drive tomorrow's SUV today. Visit changanmotors.co.za for more.
Changan, driven to evolve.
Know a little about a lot, from headlines to horsepower, parenting to pop culture. If you stay switched on with News 24, it's time to cash in. Play the Raise Your Game quiz every day this week.
from 1 p.m. on 702 afternoons with Rilebogile Mabocha. Answer 3 questions, stack your winnings, and walk away with up to 5,000 Rand cash. Thanks to News 24. Enter now on primemediaplus.com. The Raise Your Game quiz with News 24. Only on 702. TCs and more on primemediaplus.com.
Coming up in the next hour, what's the question? And it's brought to you by Outsurance. 3,000 Rand in cash is up for grabs. So you first send us an answer based on something you heard on the show and you win 1,000 Rand. WhatsApp us your name and that answer to 072 702 1702. Then someone else will ask a question to get your answer and they'll win 2,000 Rand. SMS out to 45142 now and you could save on your car insurance.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Morning, bongs and teams. Money plays a big role in a relationship. Bona. Everything is money in this life. Bon.
Morning, bongs. Money buys love. Without money, no love. Simple and straightforward. I don't care who wants to justify it how. Money buys love. Without money, no love. Full stop. Like a Friday. Bye.
Good morning, team. On your topic today, how much does money deal with your relationship? Well, I'm single, so I'm free. And money, no matter how much money in the world, it cannot buy love. This is Gareth from the West Rand.
Hi, Bongs and the team. It's a Friday. Hi, it's Jackie here from Bongani, the long-time listener and first-time WhatsApper on the show. You know what, Bongani? I'm just gonna go straight to the point. Even the singer Gwen Guthrie said, no romance without finance. Awa madoda is nugu money. Awa, never. Cannot have money in a relationship. How are we gonna live? No romance without finance. Thank you, Jackie Bongani. Love you, bye.
Nothing in life is free. That's why I'm asking you, what can you do?
Listen to the lyrics.
I've got responsibilities, so I'm looking for a man who's got some money in his hands.
She goes,
'cause nothing for nothing leaves nothing. You got to have something.
If you wanna be
really? How much can you separate money and love? Yesterday we heard from the Madlanga Commission for Inquiry from a witness who was receiving money from, the crime suspect, the criminally accused, Vusumuzi Matlala. And she says, no, it wasn't a bribe. Never mind that she says they met in 2017 and the payments came in 2025 after he had received this tender from the organization that she worked for. She said it wasn't money. It was a girlfriend allowance. It was a romantic relationship. So normalized have these transactions become that that's the explanation she thought would fly. Can you separate love from money? I want to know.
EWN Sport.
Cindy Paluta out for the morning. Welcome back to Anthony Teixeira. Good morning.
Good morning, Bongani.
No romance without finance.
Yeah, I have neither, so unfortunately I'm out of luck.
So you must be a rich man. I'll tell you who else is possibly quite a good earner. Hugo Bruce.
Yeah. Bafana coach Hugo Bruce toward the end of last year promised international opponents as part of the 2026 FIFA World Cup preparations. That's exactly what we're getting. SAFA confirming that we'll be hosting 2 international friendly matches during the March international break against Panama. The Central Americans are currently ranked 33rd in the world as Bafana ramp up their opponent competitiveness before the finals. South Africa in Group A alongside co-hosts Mexico, South Korea, and the winner of the UEFA playoff D. SAFA will confirm the venues and kickoff times in the coming days. While in rugby, defending Six Nations champs France have sent an early message to their rivals that they aren't rusty at all. They won the tournament curtain raiser 36-14 against a usually very competitive Ireland. Here's scrum off Antoine Dupont.
It was pretty surprising for us. It's always a tough game when we play against Ireland, but they kick a lot, and I think we've done a very good game on the high ball area, and maybe that's why the score was 29-0. But I think we started the game very well, and we kept this dynamic during almost 80 minutes.
In cricket's T20 World Cup co-host Sri Lanka have urged Pakistan to reconsider its decision to boycott their match against rivals India in the first round. Now, the neighbours were scheduled to meet in Colombo 15th of February after Pakistan has since decided to show solidarity with Bangladesh, who were excluded from the tournaments after refusing to play their matches in India due to safety concerns. Sri Lankan cricket shared that the boycott would result in a financial hit and will likely hurt the country's tourism industry too. India will start the finals at home tomorrow against the USA. And in golf, after the opening round of the Cape Town Open, as a 7-way tie including South Africa's Louis Alberto on 7 under par. Also, Patrick Reed and Daniel Hiller are one clear of the pack heading into the second round of the Qatar Masters, and Chris Gotterup carded a first round 8 under par 63 to lead the Phoenix Open. Anthony Teixeira, Eyewitness News Sport.
There's much to say about where South Africa is, and even more about where it's going.
On Thursday, 12 February, President Cyril Ramaphosa delivers the State of the Nation address, live from Cape Town City Hall.
702 Cape Talk and Eyewitness News will be there, analyzing every word and bringing you the news as it breaks.
From the build-up to the address to the conversations that follow.
Join Clement Maniatela and Mandy Wiener for live coverage and in-depth analysis from 6 to 10 p.m.
Live on the radio or live stream on the Prime Media Plus app. Sona 2026. Thursday, 12 February.
Live on 702 Cape Talk and EWN.
Auto & General is the proud official tournament partner of Live Golf South Africa. This is not just a golf tournament. Auto & General, together with Live Golf, are bringing you the world's best musicians in a festival-style atmosphere that transforms sport into a full-scale music experience. Get an obligation-free quote from Auto & General, an award-winning insurer, and stand a chance to win your share of 100,000 Rand in cash or tickets to the Live Golf Music Extravaganza. And of course, a little later on, we'll give you a chance to play for some cash prizes. What you need to do is WhatsApp us to 072 702 1702. SMS the words Auto & General via WhatsApp on 072 702 1702. Follow the prompt and we could be calling you.
Hey guys, this is Robert Marawa, Hollywood Bet's brand ambassador. Playing responsibly is part of the winning strategy. Make smart choices and continue to score. If you or someone that you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling Toll-Free Counseling Line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
This message is brought to you by Eskom, redefining for a better future.
Are you running a business? Every rand counts. Save electricity and cut costs by switching off lights, computers, and aircons after hours. Use energy-efficient lighting and equipment and make saving electricity part of your daily routine. Smart energy habits mean lower bills and greener business future. Let's power success efficiently.
Let's use electricity wisely. Eskom.
The brainy kids of the Whiz Quiz
on 702.
Hello, my name is Ethan. I go to King Edward VII School. I'm 13 years old, and when I grow up, I would like to be an emergency surgeon, and I'm really excited to play the Whiz Quiz with Uncle Bongani. Thank you.
An emergency surgeon. Let's give away another 10,000 Rand. Hey, Amo? Yeah, why not?
702.
Coming up at 7:15, the big interview.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN traffic is with Ford. Live at your peak in the Ford Everest. There are delays on the M1 North. Amo?
That's correct, Bongani. This is as you head towards Sandton. We've got an accident right near Caller Drive. Delays coming out of the Kilani Bends. Please be on the lookout there. There's also queuing traffic on the N3 North. This is as you leave Spruit View towards Heidelberg Road. Please try to use the R59 North instead. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
There's towing a boat to the lagoon for the weekend. And then there's towing a boat with your Ford Everest. With tow haul mode and Pro Trailer Backup Assist, you're not just a driver, you're making it look easy. That's peak living in the Ford Everest, starting from only $837,500. Includes our Ford Family Promise with our Ford Courtesy Fleet, keeping your adventure moving. Visit your nearest Ford dealer today. T&Cs apply.
Get your brain in the game because the brain of 702 is back with your chance to flex your general knowledge smarts. 3,000 Rand up for grabs every day. The brain of the week wins 10,000 Rand and that 30,000 Rand cash prize in the finals. Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
The Money Show.
Weekday evenings at 6.
Well, there's been so much good news about the economy, lower inflation, lower interest rates. But despite all of that, we also have higher debt, certainly according to Debt Busters. Benay Saka is the executive head at Debt Busters.
When we look at the take-home pay over the last 10 years, it hasn't really budged for many people. And I think there's a bit of pickup in the last 12 months or so. But structurally, I think what people are able to take home, adjusting of tax brackets and all of that, haven't really moved in our favor over the last several years.
The Money Show
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
The Money Show with Stephen Grootes is brought to you by ABSA CIB, returning as proud investment theme sponsor of the African Mining Indaba 2026. ABSA is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Who is the whizziest of them all?
It's the Whiz Quiz on 702.
Give away some cash, shall we? Up next, we speak to news commentator, comic, and the host of the Corder Report, the podcast. Dan Corder joins us for this week's Political Desk. In the meantime, Ethan is 13 years old, goes to CARES and wants to be a surgeon later on in life. Ethan, a very good morning to you. Is there anyone who's listening to you right now that you want to say hi and give a shout out to?
I think my mom and my granny is listening.
Are they in the car with you? Or are you at home? Are you at school already?
I'm in the car.
All right. Well, good luck to you. I know they're crossing their fingers for you, hey?
Yes.
All right, Ethan. Here we go. Take a deep breath, my friend. KG, start the clock. Spell the word closure.
Please repeat.
Spell the word closure.
Toirature.
Closure.
Closure.
No, closure.
Oh, CLUROSE.
CLOSURE. On which continent is the Netherlands?
Europe.
Correct. What is 18 plus 10?
28.
Correct. True or false? A fly has more than two eyes.
True.
Correct. Which ultramarathon is longer, the Comrades or the Two Oceans?
Comrades.
Correct. What is the speed limit in kilometers for car in South African towns? Is it 90 kilometers an hour or 60 kilometers an hour?
60 kilometers
Correct.
an hour.
What beginning with V do we call animals with backbones?
Mammals.
Vertebrates. What is this? I can't complete the question. Oh, that closure took a little bit of our time there, Ethan. The word closure took a little bit of our time. You get 5 correct answers, and that means 500 Rand. Remember, it's 100 Rand for each correct answer. Get all 10 right, and you win the 10,000 Rand.
The Brainy Kids of the Whiz Quiz
on 702.
702.
The Political Desk.
All right, 7 to 7. Let's look at the week that was. There's probably no bigger story at the moment than the open race that is now the DA leadership contest coming up in the next few months. John Steenhuisen, the current DA leader, announcing he will not be seeking a third term, and that's opened up all sorts of speculations about the Blue Party. Now, possibly weeks ago, Dan Corder, the news commentator, comic, and host of the Corder Report podcast, arranged a little tete-a-tete, if you will, with the Cape Town Mayor, Jordan Hill-Lewis. Completely by coincidence, of course, he is now seen by many as the front runner for the DA leadership contest. Dan, a pleasure to have you on our show. Welcome to 702 Breakfast.
Thank you so much, Bongani. Now that John Steenhuisen has finally got closure on his reign as DA leader, it's all very exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, indeed. I made a quip the other day about food and mouth disease, but I won't go there. Did his resignation take you by surprise? And what do all of the controversies around the use of the DA's credit card and all of the issues that swirl around John Steenhuisen mean for the party?
You know what? A former DA leader, Mbali Ntuli, penned an open letter a few days ago on the day that John Steenhuisen resigned, where she pointed out that the DA had always done a very good job of keeping the kind of internal squabbles and messes that all political parties have, by nature, that all businesses have. And particularly when you've got a political party which is full of politicians, people who are naturally ambitious and people who are naturally, they have to be conniving and strategic and self-interested to get anywhere in a political organization. The DA was always extremely good at keeping that out of the public eye, of limiting leaks, of creating a united front, of being hyper-disciplined. And what has happened with John Steenhuisen, what happened with now ex-minister and member of the DA, Dion George, a long-time and popular internal DA member, what's happened with the huge embarrassment to the DA of having a leader who pockets 40,000 Rand a month as DA leader and a 2.7 million Rand a year salary, the embarrassment of him seemingly being so bad with money, so vulnerable to financial pressures, not just the credit card from the political party itself taken away after spending it, that you're using it to spend money, and people try to trivialize it with the kind of like, oh, it's just some Uber Eats, forgetting that his own personal credit card, he did not pay off to the value of 150,000 Rand, which sounds like a lot, but it's also a little when you're earning 2.7 million Rand a month. That was taken away by the credit card company. All of these kinds of scandals and embarrassments and like perplexing, like what is his financial situation like, has become incredibly embarrassing to a party that always tried to present itself as the squeaky clean, uncomplicated, dramatic alternative to the other political parties.
The man who would be president is now telling us, as part of his explanation, that actually he can't be both Minister of Agriculture and tackle the foot and mouth disease crisis whilst leading the party. Will people look back on his exit from the top job in the DA and see that the party was perhaps kinder to him than his predecessor, Mmusi Maimane?
Yeah, absolutely. So last night at this event where I got to interview Jordan Hill-Lewis, we were at the Star Theatre in Cape Town. So I had a theatre show, told some jokes, talked about the state of the nation. It's about 300 people. It was a sellout. It was great. We spoke about the fact that Mmusi Maimane faced the ANC when it was really strong, when it was riding off a wave of such a big hype around Cyril Ramaphosa that we had a name for it. Ramaphoria, and Mmusi Maimane got 3.62 million votes, which was seen at the time as an absolute disaster. And 5 years later, John Steenhuisen faced an ANC crippled and weaker than it had ever been before in modern South Africa. Only got 40% of the vote, and John Steenhuisen actually lost 130,000 votes. I mean, Mmusi Maimane faced, if we're going to make the comparison, it was like Mmusi Maimane faced Manchester United in the 90s, and John Steenhuisen faced Manchester United now and did worse.
What choice is before the DA now? Because part of the shift wasn't just leadership, but it was also positioning itself, particularly when it came to race. The DA going back on the idea of race being a proxy for disadvantage in South Africa. Can the DA consider itself a party to be taken seriously if it maintains that position?
Well, that's a really, really important question for them right now. And I wonder for the DA if that question has actually been overrun by the reality that they have very, very, very few names in their party with enough national reputation to be votable for. And I think that's why Jordan Hill-Lewis, the mayor of Cape Town, is now seen as the explicit and maybe only choice that they have. Actually, because he's popular. Some people in the DA will argue also he's very popular in Cape Town and has got many votes from many people of color, which is true, and is largely seen as popular while controversial to many Cape Townians. And I think the bigger question for the DA is how have they got to the point where they have so few options? But Bongani, I have a scoop for you, the real scoop, because you know that the DA is not going to talk about any of the DA members are not going to talk about running for anything until the 27th of Feb. Jordan Hill-Lewis made that point yesterday on Twitter. So I was incredibly fortunate to have him on stage last night and in front of 300 people. I said to him, listen, man, I know you're not going to say anything, but blink once if you are going to be the next DA national leader. And Bongani, extraordinarily, the man leant towards me very theatrically in front of a full theater, sold out, and he paused and he looked at me and he blinked once. And everybody saw it, and I think that is a testament to the fact that he, unless something extraordinary changes, will be the next leader of the Democratic Alliance.
I mean, I think it was pretty telling, although he says he wants to retain the mayoral chains, it was pretty telling that his name, I think, wasn't on that list of potential candidates for the mayorship of Cape Town come the next local government elections. Dan Corder, appreciate your time. News commentator, comic, and the host of the Corder Report podcast.
702.
Coming up, the big interview.
Gosh, who do you think we've got next as our big interview this morning? Completely unrelated to the DA issues. We've invited a few of those who would be mayor of Johannesburg to tell us about their observations of the city, its challenges, and what they propose to do. You'll be hearing from some of them in the next few weeks. But first up is Helen Ziller.
This is EWN.
Police make a breakthrough following the Randfontein cash in transit heist, and witness protection still on offer as Madlanga Commission continues. Good morning, I'm Bali Dlamini. Let's begin in the West Rand, where 4 suspects are expected to appear in the Randfontein Magistrates Court this morning in connection with a cash-in-transit heist. The suspects were nabbed in Kagiso by police yesterday following intelligence received on their whereabouts. As understood, the suspects were part of a group which attacked a cash van in Mohlakeng on the West Rand on Wednesday. According to police, 2 vehicles were used as getaway cars by at least 12 suspects who fled the scene with an undisclosed amount of money. Officers say cars, 2 rifles and ammunition were amongst the items recovered during the suspect's arrest. Let's stay with policing matters. Witnesses appearing at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry who feel their lives may be in danger have been urged to approach the police. This follows another attempted assassination on a person mentioned at the commission. Yesterday, Vianre Pretorius narrowly escaped death after he was fired at 16 times by unknown gunmen just outside his home in Boksburg. Testimony by the late witness D, Marius van der Merwe, linked Pretorius to the torture and killing of a Brakpan man whose body was dumped at a lake in Germiston. Tabiso Koba reports.
The assassination attempt on Viandre Pretorius comes 2 months after the killing of witness D, whose real name was Marius van der Merwe. Before that, there was also an assassination attempt on controversial businessman Bran Mogoti prior to him appearing before the Madlanga Commission. All 3 of these incidents took place in Gauteng. Provincial Police Commissioner Tommy Mtombeni says it's too early to confirm whether they're all linked.
But safe to say, in terms of the process relating to the witness protection, as the South African Police Service, where we're investigating the case and it's clearly that there is a need for a witness to go through a witness protection, we will, of course, do the necessary, linking up with the NPA.
In the meantime, Pretorius was seen with police around his home yesterday, and when asked by reporters how he was feeling, he said he was okay. Tabiso Koba, Eyewitness News.
We shift our focus to this now. Some mining experts have raised concerns about the looming environmental challenges of the now derelict Lily Gold Mine near Barberton in Mpumalanga. The mine shut its doors in 2016 after a deadly structural collapse. Preeti Kambule, Solomon Nyerende and Yvonne Mnisi were trapped underground a decade ago. Following that collapse, their bodies were never recovered. Senior gold industry executive and CEO of Lions Bay Resources, Lloyd Burrell, says flooding in the Lily Gold Mine could have a spillover effect on the agriculture downstream if the water makes its way into the irrigation canal.
The difficulty is that when water collects in a mine, a chemical process then takes place. Eventually the water changes its pH. It can become extremely low, which means it's acidic, which means it dissolves other metals like arsenic or manganese or for example, nickel. These are not good things to have dissolved in the water.
He says it also has a damaging effect for the local community.
Now, the community doesn't have safe drinking water anymore. And what we need to ascertain is whether or not that is caused by the huge volume of water sitting underground, which is mutating, either becoming excessively alkaline and with a low pH, which is not a good combination. So there is a significant environmental component to reopening this mine.
Health Workers Union Hospersa has condemned the eviction of nurses from the Livingston Hospital Nurses' Home in Gqeberha. The union says the Eastern Cape Health Department removed the nurses without proper notice or alternative accommodation. Hospersa has described the move as inhumane, unlawful and a direct violation of labour agreements. Mongezi Gogo reports.
Hospersa says the affected nurses left their homes and families to render critical healthcare services in Gqeberha only to be evicted without support or due process. The union has also rejected attempts to link its members to alleged criminal activity at the hospital, calling the claims defamatory and without evidence. It further raises concerns over procedural fairness, saying it was never served with papers despite the department allegedly approaching the courts last year. The union says it will pursue the matter legally until a lawful and compassionate resolution is reached. Mongezi Gogo, Eyewitness News.
And in Congo, Brazzaville, 82-year-old President Denis Sassou Nguesso has announced he will be running for another term in office during elections. With elections scheduled for March this year, he is looking to extend his more than 4 decades in power. He made the announcement before a crowd of mostly farmers with a promise to work to ensure food security. The country relies heavily on imported food, leaving the population vulnerable to international price fluctuations. If Sassou Nguesso wins a new 5-year term, it will be his last under the current constitution, which sets a limit of 3. The opposition has accused him of stealing every election since 2002. Gold is trading at $4,816.12 an ounce. The rand is at 16.26 to the dollar, 22.04 to the pound, 19.17 to the euro, and Brent crude oil is at $67.91 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the Mark 1 North. This is between the Kilani Bends and Grayston Drive due to an accident as well as roadworks along the same route. And if you are traveling out of Soweto, do expect delays on Klipspruit Valley Road. This is as you approach the Soweto Highway Circle. That's in the Caroline area. So please be on the lookout there and be patient.
And in your sport, Bafana's March Internationals, we'll be seeing them face off against Panama twice in the country. Leicester have been docked 6 points for financial breaches, and Andy Farrell says his island just was second best against France after losing the Six Nations opener in Paris.
A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng today. Temperatures at lows of 17 degrees across the province, peaking at highs of between 29 and 31 degrees. The top story in EWN: 4 suspects are expected to appear in the Randfontein Magistrates Court this morning in connection with a cash-in-transit heist earlier this week.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Calling all the brightest minds in Gauteng. Time to flex your general knowledge smarts in the brain of 702. Enter now on primemediaplus.com. T's and C's apply.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
8 minutes after 7 o'clock. Welcome to 702 Breakfast. If you've just joined us, these 4 suspects expected to appear at the Randfontein Magistrates Courts this morning in connection with a cash-in-transit heist. They were nabbed by police yesterday following intelligence received about where they were. It's understood they're part of a group that attacked this cash vehicle in Mohlakeng on the West Rand earlier in the week. I think the thing that stands out for me about that story is the intelligence that the police would have received to tell us who these guys were and where they might be. More of that, please. Your reaction to Dan Corder? We try to bring a new voice on the political desk every week to look back on the week that was. And I thought it was particularly interesting to have him on, especially because he had that event with the Cape Town Mayor, Jordan Hill Lewis. Will he become the next DA leader? And what advice would you give him? We've been asking a simple question this morning. Can you separate love from money? And I wonder if you've observed what I have. And it seems to now be part of the culture. Things like girlfriend allowance or boyfriend allowance. So much have transactions become normalized in relationships in South Africa that one of the witnesses who took to the stand at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, one Brigadier Rachel Macheng, who is a section head for quality management, criminal records and crime scene management at the South African Police Service, who would have also overseen that multi-million rand tender received by Vusumuzi Kat Matlala, says the reason he was sending her cash wasn't because he was trying to bribe her. No, it was because she was his girlfriend. And of course, the commissioners were not having any of it. But I just thought it's an extraordinary development that it's become so normalized in our society. That's the explanation she thought would hold. I want you to listen to what she says about the kinds of conversation they were having together.
And so now the following day, this is now on the 1st of February at 10:12, you call Mr. Matlala, and at 11:41, you send him a picture of what looks like, I want to say, a mechanic and a car, and attached to that picture you say, "Nkadime koloi batho," with a crying emoji.
Yeah.
And maybe let's...
Meaning what?
Oh, my apologies.
Please borrow me a car.
What, Brigadier?
Please borrow me a car. And I'm crying that I don't have a car.
Thank you.
Right? I mean, she was asking for cars, she was getting money, and all because she says they were in a relationship. It almost matters not to me whether you believe her or not. That's for the commission to decide. But I think it says something about our culture that this is where we are, that in a formal process, that looking into very serious allegations about law enforcement and the links between that and corruption, this is an explanation a senior SAPS officer can give.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Yesterday, we told you about the British Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, and speculation about his days being numbered. And one of the questions that had been put to him, of course, by opposition politicians, but is what does he think of the victims in the Jeffrey Epstein saga, and what thought might he have had about them when he appointed Peter Mandelson to a senior position as ambassador to the United States, knowing he'd been so closely linked to Jeffrey Epstein. And so yesterday he issued an apology.
I am sorry. Sorry for what was done to you. Sorry that so many people with power failed you. Sorry for having believed Mandelson's lies and appointed him. And sorry that even now you're forced to watch this story unfold in public once again. But I also want to say this. In this country, we will not look away. We will not shrug our shoulders. And we will not allow the powerful to treat justice as optional. We will pursue the truth. We will uphold the integrity of public life. And we will do everything within our power and in the interests of justice to ensure accountability is delivered.
That is Keir Starmer apologizing. Right, what you need to know at this hour, we'll hear from Adam Gilchrist about what happens now to the nuclear arms control treaty that's set to expire between the US and Russia. We told you about how on this day, the Nobel Prize winner in physics in 2000, Jack Kilby, filing a patent on this day in 1959 for the microchip. The Central Bank of Kenya is warning Kenyans not to use money as flower bouquets, and they say this damages banknotes. People think they're being romantic, but they're actually messing up the money system. And it was on this day in 2003, 50 Cent. You'd never heard of him before, But you couldn't forget him after this, could you?
We gon' party like it's your birthday. We gon' sip Bacardi like it's your birthday. And you know we don't give a fuck, it's not your birthday.
The album Get Rich or Die Trying introduced him to the world. I think, in fact, it announced him quite emphatically. It was released through Eminem's Shady Records and Dr. Dre's Aftermath album, or label rather. The album turned Curtis Jackson or 50 Cent into a global star.
702. Up next,
The Big Interview.
EWN
This
Traffic.
EWN Traffic is brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand. What's going on in Randburg? There was a crash there, Amo?
That's correct, Bongani. It's along Grosvenor Road. It's right as you approach Leslie Road. It's causing heavy delays, so please be on the lookout there. There's also queuing traffic within this area, Randburg, Douglasdale, as well as Kaya Send along Malibongwe Drive, Witkoppen Road, and even Malibongwe towards the N1 exit. So please, if you're traveling around this area, be on the lookout there and continue driving with care. And we've got another accident scene reported on the Mike 1 North. It happened right after Houghton Drive, causing heavy delays coming out of Empire Road. Do expect about a 30-minute hold up there. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
This month is all about love, but the gym instructor won't be feeling the love if you're late for Zumba class. Fortunately, the Outsurance pointsmen are here to ease traffic congestion so you can get to the gym on time. With the Outsurance pointsmen on the roads for the past 20 years, we can all get to where we need to be quickly and safely. With Outsurance, you really always get something out. In proud partnership with 702. Show them some love using hashtag pointsmanlove. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
You're with Bongani Bingwa.
702 weekday mornings, 6 to 9 a.m.
Hey, Bongani, the thing is, you date someone who doesn't have money, then you end up being Bob the Builder. Once you've built, the person leaves you, then you're high and dry, all heartbroken. Just start and put it out there. Is the money there? Is the money not there? If it's not there and you have it, it's not compatible. That's it. And
Let's talk.
We're listening.
Good morning, Bongani and the 702 lenders. I find it very difficult to believe that the witnesses will find confidence in putting their lives in the very people that are being investigated. Are they going to be safe with whoever gives them the witness protection? That is a very worrying question for me. It's Lee in Benoni.
Morning, Bongani and team. Concerning the lady, I'm not saying whether she is innocent or guilty, but in Xhosa terms, now Bongani would recall as a Xhosa man, the old people, our mothers and fathers, they never used to call themselves Ngabolavi, baby, Dali, whatever. They call the Mtuamu or Mr. So and so or Tata Kabanbani, and that's how they just do it. So I'm not sure about this Mr. V thing. Actually, I've even got a friend who calls her husband Mr. whatever surname that is.
702.
The Big Interview
with Bongani Bingwa.
18 after 7 o'clock. Earlier in the week, we're focused on the water issue, specifically Midrand. You may remember our conversation with Guguletu Quma, who is the Joburg Water's electromechanical manager, who said, just 3 or 5 days and it will all be fixed. Now, many residents of Midrand will tell you they haven't had water for much longer than that. But it's not only Midrand. There are other areas in Johannesburg, Auckland Park, Fourways, that have had difficulties with water for a period of time. We know the current mayor of Johannesburg, Dada Morero, has made all kinds of promises about the restoration of water supply. So what we've decided to do over the next few weeks, we're going to invite those who would seek the mayoral chains of Johannesburg to tell us what problems they've identified in the city, but more importantly, what solutions they offer. And somebody who has done a few visits to a number of sites around Johannesburg is DA candidate for mayor in Johannesburg or at least for the next local government elections, Helen Ziller. Always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you for your time.
Bongani, are you going to roast me again?
Listen, I won't be naughty and ask you about DA elections and succession battles. Maybe I will at the end, but that's not why we called you here this morning. I've noted with some interest your social media posts. You've been visiting a number of areas. Water has been a particular focus, but perhaps I thought let's start with one of your more recent videos, that heartbreaking visit to the Alexander Women's Hostel. That was just shocking.
That was totally heartbreaking. I mean, that in this day and age, there are still single-sex hostels in South Africa is one thing. But it was interesting for me to hear that the women wanted to be, or some of the women that I spoke to, obviously I didn't speak to every woman, but some of the women said they actually wanted to be without men there, and they were complaining that there were young men there of about the age of 18 to 22, which made life very difficult for them, but most were single women. But when I did speak to them about family units, they said yes, they desperately wanted family units. But that is one thing. The single-sex hostel concept is one thing. The second thing is the state of the place. Apparently there's another hostel that's even worse, which is called the Madola Hospital in Alexandra. I'll be going there soon. But the one that I saw, I couldn't believe that human beings live in a place like that. There was sewage everywhere. The smell was unbearable. I don't know how you live and sleep and eat and breathe in a place like that. The facilities, the baths, I mean, that people haven't got cholera and botulism is a miracle, frankly. It's a miracle. And the kitchen facilities, everything. I just could not believe what I saw.
And, of course, you highlight the fact that there's always money allocated to fixing a place like that, but it just doesn't get spent.
Well, there's always money allocated to fixing, but then it goes somewhere else. I just would love to understand the budget process in Joburg, because money is allocated, and then somehow it gets reallocated to something else. Now, in Joburg, with the water, there was apparently 4 billion in the water account, and what happens is that it's swept out. So every single night, apparently, money comes in, residents pay for water, they pay for electricity, they pay their rates and service charges. There's something called a general account. And the money gets swept out of, let's say, Joburg Water or City Power, and goes into the general account, and then gets used for other stuff. So you were saying in your intro, what would I do? The first thing I would do would be to ring fence a large chunk of that money for water. The problem with water in Joburg is that it hasn't been maintained for about 30 years. In Selby, there are factories that have been without water for about, I would say, 20 weeks now. They have a water truck that comes, and of course a lot of money in Joburg gets allocated to the water trucks, and we all know what a corrupt enterprise that is. But in Selby, where they have the oldest water system, or one of the oldest water systems in Joburg, and there are a lot of factories there, those factories can't function when there's no water, obviously, because you can't flush a toilet or anything. And so people can't come to work. And so the factory isn't productive, and so people have to be retrenched. And thousands of people face that kind of thing when the water goes down. But Selby isn't a quick fix. Yeah. Selby's pipes have collapsed. They've gone. And that's got to be done from scratch. This big problem at Midrand and right through to the Hurst Hill area, that is Westbury, Coronationville, Melville, Westdean, Emmarentia, all of that area, they got hit very hard this week as well. And I live in one of those places. I'm not going to say which one, but I live in one of those places, so I know. The problem started at Zuikerbosch, which is a water treatment plant. And in Zuikerbosch, there was an explosion. I don't know why there was an explosion. It was quite a bad explosion, and that had a knock-on effect. It had a knock-on effect to all the pump stations, like Palmit. And then that goes down the road. So that water tower at Grand Central, which serves the Midrand area, I was there, wasn't getting water.
Yeah, you were at Grand Central Water Tower in Midrand.
Correct.
I want you to listen to Mayor Dada Morero, who says, yeah, but officials are working around the clock to restore water supply in Midrand. And tell me if you find him convincing. Have a listen.
We have to explain this matter into proper context. There was a leak at the Klipfontein reservoir, which is a rainwater reservoir, which then affected supply to Joburg Waters reservoirs in the area, which is basically your President Park reservoir, your Grand Central, your Deep Slot reservoir, etc. There's about 5 reservoirs in the area, and as such they were affected, and that's why we would not be able to store water and supply water into the area. So what we are now beginning to see is an improvement in the system. The leak was fixed, and rainwater is beginning to pump water into its reservoir and pump water into our reservoirs. We are seeing an improvement. It should be just around 60%, but we hope it will increase, and that will allow us now to supply water. And that particular reservoir of rainwater is supplying Johannesburg, Tshwane, and partially Ekurhuleni. So it's a very big station, and that is why the impact has been this big. So we should be able to restore water. The teams are working. We've increased our technical teams. Today, again, we are also increasing on our water tankers to ensure, at least whilst we're working on getting the system to improve, the people are at least getting supply of water.
Are you convinced?
Look, I could hardly hear that. It was very, very full of static and blurred and everything. The truth is that the systems are unmaintained and so old that a fault in one place triggers a lot of faults down the line. And that's the problem. The Suikerbosch explosion then hit Palmit, then hit Klipfontein, hit Grand Central, hit all of them in a kind of domino effect. And then there's too little water in the reservoirs because they can't pump water into the reservoirs. So they have to choose which reservoirs to actually prioritize. And that is why you have some places going down with water and some places having water. And it's like kind of whack-a-mole, I called it. You fix one problem one place and it pops up in another place. And it's because you can't fill the reservoirs if the water treatment plant isn't going down and if there's an explosion in one of the systems, which I presume is an electrical explosion, although I don't know.
All of this would suggest that because, as you point out, many of these issues are legacy issues now, they've been unattended to for quite a period of time, there won't be any quick fixes. How do you propose to deal with this mess?
Well, yes, there won't be any quick fixes because you can't fix water that's been neglected for 30 years in 100 days of becoming the mayor. And the point is to be 100% honest with the public. I'm learning a lot every single day. I'm finding out exactly what is wrong. I'm getting a map of the very complex water systems. There are 22 critically endangered water systems in Johannesburg that are literally on their last legs because they haven't been maintained for so long. One of the worst ones is that one in Selby that I spoke about. And those pipes are going to have to be replaced. And we're going to have to make arrangements for places as pipes are replaced. But that has to be ongoing. And the big challenge is going to be communicate. People have to know where the problems are, where the work is going to be done, how long it's going to take. It has to be absolute, accurate information. And we have to get a lot of the shoddy workmanship out of the system. And that brings me to another point that I think I should make, Bongani. I'm totally shocked to be briefed and to learn that a lot that goes wrong is actually deliberate. Not only is there terribly shoddy workmanship, but apparently contractors to the city are prepared to do something and to repair something that will deliberately and by design break in the near future so they can be called back to fix it.
And make more money. Helen,
That's right.
You have obviously put yourself in the race for the mayoral position in Johannesburg. And perhaps a cheeky question as we end off our conversation.
You're always cheeky, Bongani.
How much do the latest ructions within the DA more broadly, as far as leadership are concerned, how much do they dent some of the image you would want to sell about your party to even Joburg voters who look at the national issues that the party is facing, the exit of John Steenhuisen this week and everything around the build-up to that, who look at it and say, hang on, the DA isn't as squeaky clean, isn't as undivided as the other parties in South Africa and what we've become used to?
The fact is that the DA is a party that has peaceful leadership changes through the ballot box. We are a party that has regular congresses every 3 years. Many other parties do not do that. Many other parties seem to have leaders for life and don't have elected leaders at all in their system. And other parties, and I was stunned to be briefed by what went on in the ANC in the last elective conference when, of course, Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma was standing against Cyril, and the amount of money that changed hands so that people would vote for a particular delegate.
We know
enough. It's unbelievable. Yeah. No, you just don't know what it's like and what it does to the fabric of our democracy. The DA, the fact that there was a conflict between Dion George and John Steenhuisen, and that it came to the fore and that we dealt with it, is not the kind of crisis of spending 500 million rand paying off delegates to vote for you.
All right, Helen Zilla, we'll have to leave it there. Also, of course, chair of the Democratic Alliance's Federal Council.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand. Amo?
Well, Bongani, we still have got heavy traffic volumes on the M1. This is between Empire Road and Caller Drive, obviously due to an earlier accident. And if you're traveling on the southerly direction of this route, also expect delays between Grayston Drive and Caller Drive exit. Now, on the other side, it's due to roadworks taking place there. I'll have more details coming up shortly. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Don't pay more than you need to for car insurance. 27-year-old Outsurance client Liam is saving big bucks.
Saving so much every month, around 640 Rand.
That's an amazing 640 Rand saving on Liam's 2024 Ranger. SMS out to 45142. Let's hear how 45-year-old Nivan feels about saving 461 Rand a month on his 2025 VWT Cross.
Saving me so much money, 461 Rand.
Nice one. And after 3 claim-free years, you get an out bonus.
So much money.
Get a quote now and see how much money Outsurance could save you. SMS out to 45142. If you don't save, ask for 500 Rand or 1,500 Rand if you've been claim-free and with the same insurer for 3 years. Savings or cash. You have nothing to lose with Outsurance. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Licensed insurer in FSP. TCs and information online.
All right, let's get a market roundup from
EWN Business.
Morero. Let's look at the markets from yesterday.
A lot of weakness because of those dropping commodity prices that saw the oil share on the JSE down more than 2,000 points. The Rand at this hour, 16 Rand 26 against the US dollar. It's clawing back some gains there at 19 Rand 18 cents against the euro and at 22 Rand 3 cents against the British pound. Price of gold at $4,824 an ounce, off that $5,000 high, while platinum is at $1,972. Brent crude at $67.84 a barrel. Full bulletin after 8.
Straight to the news desk we go. Good morning once again, Mbali Dlamini.
Thanks, Bongani. Good morning. The National Student Financial Aid Scheme says it's still allowing students with outstanding documents to submit them for funding in the 2026 academic year. Over 21,000 documents from applicants remain outstanding, while 85,000 applications are being processed. Over 600,000 students have been approved for funding for the new academic year. NSFAS spokesperson Ishmael Mnisi says outstanding and incomplete documentation from applicants remain a challenge.
We want to appeal to students that when they send their consent form,
they must make sure that the income data and the other requirements that needs parents or guardians are valid. So they must be able to attach the necessary ID documents which are verified.
Let's head to the courts where murder-accused artist Bevan van Druten is expected to make another appearance in court today. He faces charges linked to the murder of former detective Annetjie van Heerden, whose body was found next to a car last month. During his previous appearance, the state made an application for his referral for psychiatric observation. Weighing in on the matter, Otto Olivier of the Plettenberg Bay Crime Prevention Association says the victim's cause of death will not yet be made public.
When you work on any scene or you're part of any investigation, there's a lot of things that does not get disclosed due to the fact that that's things that can be happen in court.
Olivier adds that the murder has shocked the community where safety and security are prioritized.
That everybody's living in this bubble and we do not know of all the things that's happening around us because people are generally in a good space when they live here.
On the politics front now, John Steenhuisen's long-serving campaign manager, Dean McPherson, has dismissed suggestions that the outgoing DA leader has been pushed out. The clarity comes after Steenhuisen announced this week that he would not be seeking re-election to focus on his ministerial work. McPherson says Steenhuisen should be lauded for bowing out when a repeat victory was almost certain. Speaking at the Cape Town Press Club yesterday, McPherson insisted Steenhuisen took the decision of his own accord. Lindsay Dentlinger reports.
At the helm of the party since 2019, just 2 weeks ago, John Steenhuisen indicated that he would very likely throw his hat in the ring again at the party's Federal Congress. Longtime confidant and KwaZulu-Natal provincial leader Dean McPherson believes Steenhuisen would have emerged victorious for another 3-year term.
Show me a political leader that could have won an elective conference and chose not to stand. And I think that is very commendable of him.
Amid reports that unhappy party donors and farming groups have been behind Steenhuisen's sudden about turn, McPherson says they don't dictate policy, leadership or decision-making within the party.
And I think that if donors did dictate decisions of the party, I think that would lead to a slippery slope.
Unveiling 8 mayoral candidates for the Western Cape yesterday, Steenhuisen said he remains committed to campaigning for a successful local government election outcome for the party. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News.
And in Cuba, President Miguel Diaz-Canel says the country is prepared to hold dialogue with the United States, but not under pressure. This follows months of threats from U.S. President Donald Trump. Trump has vowed to cut off Cuba's access to oil, stating the island was ready to fall, warning it to make a deal with Washington before it's too late. Diaz-Canel says any talks with the U.S. must take place from a position of equals and without any interference in Cuba's internal affairs. Cuban officials blame U.S. sanctions for the country's worst economic crisis in decades, marked by shortages of fuel, food and medicine. But observers say poor economic management and a tourism collapse following the COVID-19 pandemic contributed to the island's woes. A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng today. Temperatures will peak at highs of between 29 and 30 degrees.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the M1 North between Hudson Drive and Greyston Drive. This is due to a major accident seen between these 2 points, about a 30-minute hold up there. If you want to avoid the scene and you're heading towards areas like Morningside, please try to use the N1 North instead.
The top story in EWN, the National Student Financial Aid Scheme, says it's still allowing students with outstanding documents to submit them for funding in the 2026 academic year.
Clement Maniatella.
Weekday mornings,
9 to 12.
9 to 12.
Normally you guys are busy as ministers. You're moving from one meeting to the next. You're always on the road. Do you have opportunities where you just take the music in?
I really miss that opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, in the past, when I was still driving myself, driving alone, I could play. Unfortunately, I'm missing that opportunity.
Well, because you can tell them when they drive you to play.
The problem, you need to read. Yeah. If you don't read, going to meetings, you mess up things. And if you don't read as a leader, you just go a wrong direction.
And you end up not knowing what you're talking about. IFP leader and Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, Velenkosini Shabisa.
Clement Manyatela.
9 to 12 on 702.
Stop and think. Will you survive the AI revolution or even thrive? Read Genesis students are thriving. 11 cutting-edge schools, 111 countries, a world-class team of 1,111, all with one mission, awakening your potential. Now, you can choose from law, business, technology, AI, health, entrepreneurship, public management, skills academy, economics, undergraduate, postgraduate. The question isn't, can you afford to enroll? It's, can you afford not to? Enroll now. Regenesis.net. Achieve your dreams.
Sorry I'm late, Sevi. Had to fetch my lucky putter. No worries. Let's go. We're teeing off in an hour. Great. We're taking your car. Can't. It's already taken. What do you mean taken? It was right here when I left a few minutes ago. I sold it to WeBuy Cars and made a whole lot of green. Birdie told me that's the best way to sell your car. Not only the best way, it's the fair way. Kom ons vat die pad.
Don't be doof, be savvy. We buy cars geared for a fast sale, geared for you.
Congratulations to the recent Powerball jackpot winner who bagged a mind-blowing jackpot of over 178 million rand. Here's what they said.
Winning the second highest ever recorded Powerball jackpot in Mzansi through my FNB banking platform is unbelievable. I only played with a 15 Rand wager. Thank you, Tuba, for making my dream a reality.
Play Powerball and Powerball Plus for 41 million rand in total estimated jackpots this Friday, and you could win big. Buy your tickets now in store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app, cell phone banking, or simply dial *120 *7529# for USSD. Panda, Pusha, play. Players must be 18 years old or play responsibly. eTuba is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
As mining evolves towards automation, green metals, and resilient value chains, Gauteng is turning its legacy into tomorrow's opportunities. So catch 702 in conversation with the Gauteng Growth and Development Agency. Discover how they're showcasing the province as a platform for investment, innovation, and scale. Don't miss 702 in conversation with Gauteng Growth Development Agency. This is on Afternoon Drive with John Pullman.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702
Hi,
1702.
Bongani and team. How is it that when you ask Helen Zille from the DA, how does the leadership battle affect the DA and the look of the DA, that she changes the answer of the question to something that the ANC done? Can they not just answer about their own problems?
Morning, 702. It's Linda in Pretoria. When DA was in charge of Joburg, Alexandra was there. What did they do? That's what I want to know. Because Joburg has been led by almost all parties. Alexandra's been there. It's been like that. No one has came to the rescue of the people of Alexandra. So I think Helen has to explain to us why must we trust that when she comes this time, there's going to be changes. Why must we believe it now?
That's one point of view. You know, often when you invite politicians to talk about their proposals for dealing with a particular problem, whether it's a city or a province or even the country, they'll tell you about their plans and their strategies and their timelines and what they're going to do on day one, how they're going to hit the ground running. That's what you'd expect, right? Was it me? Or did you also get the sense that in talking to Helen Zille, the scale of the problems that Johannesburg faces has absolutely shocked her? Do you know what I mean? She wasn't coming on the show saying, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. And yes, a lot of the issues she's pointing out to have now become legacy issues and they won't have quick fixes. But I almost got the impression that even she is going, you? Did you get that same sense? Or is it just me?
702.
What's the question?
What's the question is brought to you by Outsurance, a chance for you to win up to 3 1,000 Rand in cash. First, 1,000 Rand for the answer, and then a little later, 2,000 Rand if you can give us the question. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask Outsurance for 500 Rand. Today's answer comes from Anna, who is in Tembisa. Anna, can you please give us today's answer?
Good morning, Bongani. Today's answer is 6 February.
Ooh, 6 February. That's a tricky one, Anna. I see what you're doing. And tell me, Anna, have you received a quote from Outsurance?
Yes, I do.
Your biscuit. 1,000 Rand is coming your way. All thanks to 702 and Outsurance. There you have it. Anna says the answer is 6 February. What's the question? Call us if you know on 011 8830
EWN Sport.
Catch up now with the world of sport. Anthony Teixeira is back in for Cindy Paluto, who's out for the morning. Let's start with football. Anthony, 2 international friendlies.
Yeah, good morning, Bongani. That is true. SAFA believing that these 2 international friendlies against Panama next month will offer them a test which aligns closely to the level Bafana will be facing at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The Central Americans are 27 places higher in the world rankings than us in 33rd, while we have the tournament taking place from 11 June to 19 July in the US, Canada and Mexico. Doubleheader this weekend, this evening in the Nedbank Cup from 7 p.m. Top flight affair between Durban City and Chippa United, while Vasco da Gama take on Luthuli Brigadiers, while later in the evening the Premier League weekend will kick off with Leeds hosting Nottingham Forest. 10 years after shocking the football world and claiming the Premier League title, Leicester City find themselves languishing in the Championship and now drawn into relegation fight. They've been docked 6 points by the English Football League and has seen them drop to 20th, only outside the relegation zone on goal difference. The Foxes say they're disappointed by the disproportionate ruling after they were charged for breaching the Premier League profit and sustainability breach in the 3 years leading up to the 23-24 season. In rugby, Louis Billaray picked up 2 tries in the Six Nations opener this year, picking up where he left off from last year's leading try scorer in the competition, and that was in France's humbling of Ireland, a 36-14. Irish head coach Andy Farrell admits his charges didn't turn up as they should have in Paris.
I think you make your own luck in this game, and you make your own luck by being ahead of the game in most things that probably without the ball. And I thought we certainly lost that battle in the first half, and the things like the high balls and winning the scraps on the floor and ourselves missing tackles, etc. Yeah, we certainly came off second best.
Remaining opening round fixtures tomorrow have Italy against Scotland, England facing Wales. And in tennis, Andrea Guanzenzi has been re-elected ATP chair for a 3rd term till 2028. A former player himself, the Italian has overseen a $100 million increase in player compensation since his appointment in 2020, as well as expanding the men's tour to over 300 players. He's faced criticism by the players who have called the tennis calendar grueling, although he continues to defend it, saying that the players are independent contractors and as such control their own schedules. Anthony Teixeira, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
13 to 8. Amoramila, what's happening on the roads? You were telling us about trouble on the R21 North. What's going on there? Roadworks, eh?
That's correct, Bongani. In the Tembisa area, they are causing delays as you approach Olifantsfontein Road. Do expect about a 15-minute hold-up. If you're heading towards the city of Tshwane, I can tell you now, the N1 North is looking much better. Try to use that route towards Centurion. And then if you're traveling in the Midrand area, we've got delays on Olifantsfontein Road approaching the N1 exit. There's also queuing traffic along Cedar Road in the Fourways area, as well as Witkoppen Road and Winnie Mandela Drive. If you are traveling out of heading towards the Rand Park Ridge area, do expect heavy traffic volumes along Christian Devet Road. An accident has been reported there. It is causing heavy delays towards Northumberland Avenue. And then traveling in Edenville, traffic lights are still out of order at Morero Road and Van Riebeck, as well as in Alexandra at the N3 and London Road, but pointsmen are on duty there. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
The Cape Town Cycle Tour returns Sunday, 8 March, inviting riders to be part of one of the world's most iconic cycling events. Choose between the classic 109-kilometer route or the 42-kilometer option, both offering unforgettable scenery along the way. And in 2026, the Tour gains UCI Grand Photo World Series status with the opportunity to qualify for the World Championships. Enter now at CapetownCycleTour.com.
Your office is more than just a place to work. It's a reflection of your success. At Desk and Chair, we help you elevate your workspace with locally manufactured desks and a wide range of chairs to suit your style and budget. Our expert consultants are with you every step of the way, from planning to delivery and assembly. Visit our showroom in Midrand or shop online at deskandchair.co.za. Desk and Chair. Think, feel, work better.
702.
What's the question?
For 2,000 Rand in cash, all thanks to Artsurance. Please tell me what's the question. If the answer is 6 February, let's try Tepang, you're in Mabopane. What's the question?
Morning, Bongani. The question is, on which day in 2003 did 50 Cent release his Get Rich or Die Trying album?
Yeah, that could be one. It could be one. Not quite the one we're looking for, though. Tepang. Aww. Francis in Kempton Park. What's the question?
Yeah, my name is Francis. The question is, on which day was Nicole Cole and Bob Marley were born?
Bob Marley and who?
Nicole Cole.
Ni who?
Nicole Cole.
Nicole Cole.
Yeah, Nicole Cole.
No, Francis, not Nicole Cole. Gibson, Francis has given you 75% of the question, but give it to us anyway.
Yes, on which day was Natalie Cole and Bob Marley born?
Natalie Cole and Bob Marley, both born on this day, the 6th of February. Both no longer with us, but I tell you what, their music lives on, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This morning, smile with the rising sun. 3 little birds pitch by my doorstep, singing sweet songs of melodies pure and true, saying, "This is my message to you, singing, one love, one heart, let's get together and feel alright. Hear the children crying, one love. Hear the children crying, one heart. Saying, give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Saying, let's get together and feel alright.
Even though it's been so long, my love for you keeps going strong. I remember the things that we used to do, a kiss in the rain till the sunshine through. I try to deny it, but I'm still in love with you. I miss you like crazy. I miss you like crazy. Ever since you went away, every hour of every day, I miss you like crazy. I miss you like crazy. No matter what I say or do, there's just no getting over you.
1 to
to know how much money OutSurance saves 35-year-old Zanai on her car insurance?
A whopping 1,180 Rand.
That's an incredible 1,180 Rand monthly saving on Zanai's 2017 Mercedes-Benz GLA. And the out bonus she'll get?
It is close to 6,500 Rand in 3 years if I'm claim-free.
Nice. How much money could OutSurance save you? SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Licensed insurer in FSP. TCs and information online.
Hi, this is Carol Shabalala, Hollywood Bet's brand ambassador. It's more fun when it's for fun. Playing responsibly is always a winning strategy. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling toll-free counseling line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
Do you suffer from heartburn and hyperacidity? To relieve heartburn for the whole day and night with one tablet, a potent once-a-day treatment which was previously prescription only is now available over the counter. Ask your pharmacist for an over-the-counter, long-lasting heartburn treatment. Brought to you by Sandoz.
The stage, the lights, the crowd, everything's perfect until suddenly someone slips on the dance floor. A speaker lands in the buffet. In an instant, your masterpiece is a mess. That's why Auto & General is there with Events Liability Insurance. We handle the unexpected so you don't have to. Plan the party, wow the guests, leave the rest to us. For more information on Events Liability Insurance, visit autogen.co.za. Auto & General, never not there. Auto & General is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's online.
702
702. What's gone viral?
with Kabazela.
Time now for the world of viral content. Kabazela.
Good morning to you, bear.
It's a happy Friday. But will you please call
it's
me?
Always good on a Friday.
Will you please call me after the show?
Yeah, I mean, if I did get that message, I'd probably think, oh gosh, what now? What now? So this was an interesting one that I saw on X from a person who posted a screenshot of her cell phone and a conversation from her boss, Chris. And Chris would always say, call me when you get logged in. And, you know, that would make you quite anxious because you'd think, okay, what now? What have I done? Am I in trouble? And I don't know if you can relate to that. Like maybe you have a boss and your boss will say, hi, please phone me when you get a chance, or please phone me as soon as you get in. Then you think, okay, well, what have I done now? You know, and I've been in that situation many times where, you know, if a boss, Alistair, says, you know, please come see me, the first thing I say is, am I in trouble? That's the first thing I say to him. And then at least he'll say, no, you're not. And then it eases the anxiety. So what she did then, she had a chat with the boss and said, you know, listen, this makes me feel anxious, etc., etc. So now every time he WhatsApps her, he'll say, call me when you get logged on. You aren't in trouble, LOL. And then he'll say the next message, it's like, you aren't in trouble, give me a call when you can. So he always prefaces it with, you're not in trouble. But I wonder if she does get in trouble, what he will say to her then, right? So do you have a boss that perhaps, you know, does certain things that makes you feel anxious, but they don't intentionally mean to make you feel anxious? They just, you know, doing stuff that sometimes bosses do, and, you know, because they got busy.
Like calling you?
Well, yeah.
No.
I mean, what
especially
do you mean, no?
if you're... Don't call me... Like, phone calls give me anxiety, period. But with
Really?
one of my bosses,
yeah,
my palpitations. Because why are they calling me? Message me. Or it's, for me, it's similar as we need to talk. You know, when somebody just sends you a message, we need to talk.
Yeah, but that makes you feel flippin' anxious.
It's
So
the same thing.
Why would a call make you feel
It's
less?
the same thing. No. It makes
No.
me feel more.
No, for me,
anxious.
because now you've got this text message. Now you're sitting there and you're thinking, okay, what could it be? You're running through all these things through your head, and then eventually you got to make the call. Whereas at least if the call comes, it's there and then.
Yeah.
You're dealing with it there, there and then.
No. Why are you calling me? I haven't had time to prepare. Send me a text. Tell
Yeah.
me we need to talk about our meeting on Thursday. We need to talk
Okay, so
about
yeah.
that appointment, that we whatever.
Yeah.
Give me a sense of what we're going to do. Don't just randomly call me if you're my boss. No. No.
Is Alistair listening? Let's hope.
He's going to call me.
About this conversation.
All right, let's put it out there. What do you automatically assume when you receive a message like, we need to talk, or please call me when you get this? Whether it's a boss or a loved one, do you get anxious? And what kind of communication makes you anxious? Is it a message? Is it a phone call? Let us know.
702.
702.
Feedback with Baphelile Sambo.
You get what I'm saying,
I
Mapelele,
know,
right?
I know. And we have that person in the group or in the team.
Yes.
Clive will send you a hey and let you be.
What's
and
a
he
hey?
normally doesn't text you. He only texts you when there's something to talk about. He'll just send you a hey and let you be. Go on about your day. And then next thing, give you a missed call, not even say nothing. And I constantly tell Clive, you are giving me so much anxiety. Just one sentence, tell me, Baphelile, don't worry. It's just
It's about this,
yeah,
that. Thank you.
yeah.
Don't, and then the phone call, right?
My phone is always on silence. My phone is always on silence.
Even from friends, I get anxious. Why are you calling me? Text me.
Because we
Don't
constantly
call
deal
me.
with so many
No.
things. Yeah. Bongani, anyway, money can't buy love, but it can definitely fund the honeymoon. That is the feedback and reaction we are getting from many 702 lenders. They say that with the cost of living skyrocketing, you need a little bit of snogo or money in your relationship just to make it somewhat comfortable. And our big interview with the chair of the Democratic Alliance, Helen Zille, 702 lenders are saying these challenges are nothing new. Informal settlements have been around, water shortages, outages have been around, and they feel that the renewed urgency in the conversation we were having has less to do with solution and more to do with the fact that local government elections are fast approaching.
All right, so more reactions to what we have raised on the show this morning. And looking back at the testimony we heard at the Commission of Inquiry looking into alleged criminality in our law enforcement yesterday. How transactional have our relationships become? That would be an explanation for why somebody was receiving money from a criminally accused, even though she was senior within SAPS. Also, a chance for you to win with Auto in General. WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702. Put in the keyword Auto in General, your name and ID, and follow the prompts. So this is not a voice WhatsApp, it's a text WhatsApp, right? WhatsApp us to 072 702 1702. Key in the word Auto in General with your name and ID. Follow the prompts, and we could be calling you to play a quick driver challenge.
This is EWN.
Authorities respond to a building fire in the Joburg CBD, and Northwest businessman Suleiman Karim to appear before the Madlanga Commission. Good morning, I'm Bali Dlamini. We begin with news just in this morning. Joburg firefighters are conducting damping down operations at a building in the Joburg CBD. This after the ground floor of the building caught alight on corner Bree and Harrison Streets in the early hours of this morning. It's understood the building is used as both a residential as well as commercial space. The fire was successfully extinguished by firefighters, remain on the scene to prevent any re-ignition. No injuries have been reported at this stage. Joburg EMS spokesperson Xolile Khumalo says an investigation into the cause of the blaze is underway.
The fire did not spread to other floors. A large transformer on the ground floor is suspected to have been the cause of fire.
Controversial businessman Suleiman Karim is expected to take the witness stand at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry today. This follows his failed attempt in court to block a subpoena compelling him to appear. Karim, a staunch ANC backer, is alleged to have used his political sway to swing an SAPS tender to a company linked to tender tycoon Vusimuzi Matlala. The irregular 360 million rand tender was at the center of testimony by a senior police official at the commission just yesterday. Section head for quality management at the SAPS, Rachel Majeng, told the inquiry she was in a romantic relationship with Matlala, but says all the money she received from him was not a bribe but romantic gifts. Majeng insists she played no role in the tender being awarded to Matlala.
And I further ask if I should recuse myself from the responsibility of managing the medical surveillance and biological monitoring program. Major General Manamela indicated that this is part of my scope of work and cannot relegate that responsibility.
But Commissioner Mbuyiseli Madlanga says it was very strange there was no terms of endearment in any of the WhatsApp messages between Matlala and Majeng.
As romantically involved people, did you and Mr. Matlala have any terms of endearment like love, babe, hun, etc.?
Yes, Commissioner. I am not a romantic person. I'm not into calling people honey, love, or whatever, but I'll give you a pet name. For him, I was calling him Mr. V, and from his side, he was calling me Diva.
We shift our focus to this now. Non-profit organization Action Society has written to the NPA seeking reasons for the withdrawal of a case against a man accused of raping a minor. The case relates to a 4-year-old girl from Fuleni in the Western Cape who was allegedly assaulted by her scholar transport driver in October last year. The accused was arrested and was in custody until last week when the case was withdrawn by the NPA. Jabuli Lembata has more.
Action Society says it has been following the case very closely from last year when they first heard about the accused being the scholar transport driver of the victim. According to the investigating officer of the case, the accused instructed the child to sit on his lap, removed her clothing and assaulted her. When he applied for bail, it was denied as the court saw a medical examination of the young girl's injuries to be consistent with the act he was accused of. Action Society and the family say last week when they went to court for the trial that was set to begin, they were told the case was withdrawn. Spokesperson Kayleen Palm says they will be pursuing answers from the NPA.
This is not a passive observation from the sidelines. This is a direct intervention in a rape case involving a 4-year-old child. When a case of this gravity is withdrawn without explanation, it demands immediate accountability. Action Society's most recent report on violence against children highlights persistently high levels of child rape and sexual assault, with young children making up significant proportions of victims.
She adds that this is equivalent to justice denied. Jabuli Lembata, Eyewitness News.
Potential investors at Lily Mine near Barberton in Mpumalanga say efforts to resume operations are still being hampered by red tape. The gold mine shut its doors in 2016 and went under business rescue after a structural collapse that claimed 3 lives. The remains of Pritin Kambule, Yvonne Mnisi and Solomon Nyirende remain underground after the lamp room they were working in sank during the mine collapse. It's been 10 years since that tragedy. Nugukanya Mtambo has the details.
There have been repeated attempts to reopen the Lily gold mine, which at its prime employed more than 1,000 people. The process to exit business rescue has been stalled by continuous litigation. Fred Arendse, the CEO of Siakula Sonke Empowerment, a corporation vying to revive Lily Mine, had this to say about the stalled process.
And the sad part is the gold price is incredibly high at the moment. Now imagine if the mine was in production from 2019. We would have commemorated in a much positive way today, celebrating the memory of our 3 colleagues.
The mine's largest creditor is currently mining investment company Akomanzi, which purchased Standard Bank's loan claims against Vantage Goldfields. Nogukanya Mdambo, Eyewitness News.
And Canada and France are set to open consulates in the capital of Greenland today in a strong show of support for the local government. The two nations have both adamantly opposed U.S. President Donald Trump's wish to control the territory. Trump has repeatedly insisted that Washington needs to control the strategic mineral-rich island for security reasons. A working group has been established to discuss ways to meet the security concerns, but the details of the talks have not been made public. Last year, French President Emmanuel Macron announced plans to open a consulate in Greenland while he criticized Trump's ambitions. Canada announced its plans in late 2024, saying it wanted to boost cooperation. Gold is trading at $4,883.83 an ounce. The rand is at 16.21 to the dollar, 21.99 to the pound, 19.12 to the euro, and Brent crude oil is at $67.91 a barrel.
Traffic is heavily backed up on the M1 North. In fact, about a 30-minute delay between Jan Smuts Avenue and Grayston Drive due to peak time delays, as well as an accident between these 2 points. So please be on the lookout and try to use the N1 North if you're heading towards areas like Sunning Hill as well as Sandton. Otherwise, if you're traveling in Tembisa, we've got queuing traffic on the R21 North due to roadworks approaching Olifantsfontein Road.
A busy sporting weekend awaits as we have the Nedbank Cup Round of 32 taking place. The Premier League will see the most recent winners, Liverpool and Man City, facing off Sunday. We also have the opening round of the Six Nations as well as the Perth Sevens. And the T20 Cricket World Cup begins in India and Sri Lanka.
A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng today. Temperatures will peak at highs of between 29 and 31 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. Joburg firefighters are conducting damping down operations at a building which caught fire in the Joburg CBD.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Your brain's a well-oiled machine. Now put it to work in the brain of 702. Enter on primemediaplus.com. T's and C's apply.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
9 minutes after 8 o'clock, you're listening to 702 Breakfast. My name indeed is Bongani Bingwa. Ructions within the DA. For a long time, they were the party of discipline. Not for them, factionalism, as you've seen in other parties. All of that, of course, blown out of the water this year, and it's led to the resignation. At least not quite resignation, but certainly he won't be back for another term, the leader of the DA. He's staying on as Minister of Agriculture, focusing on that and the foot and mouth disease crisis rather than doing both jobs. But he also wanted to be president, and presumably he wasn't going to resign as leader of the party then. Was he? Or am I misreading it? We spoke to Helen Ziller a little earlier on. She wants to be the next mayor of Johannesburg. Did you get the sense, as I did, Mateo, that she was overwhelmed isn't the right word, but there was a sense of, guys, right? Because politicians love to make promises, and quick fixes and timelines and schedules and hitting the ground running.
She walked into the city and hit the ground running and then realized just how much there is to do.
Yeah, it felt like the city has literally sapped her energy.
There's a lot to do here.
There's a lot to be done in Johannesburg. Over the next few weeks, we'll be speaking to other mayoral candidates, and hopefully we'll also speak to the current mayor, Dada Morero. Hopefully this time he'll come on, hey? Remember when he promised to come and didn't come? Hopefully this time he will come. Let's talk.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Yesterday, testimony from the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry brought to the fore a question I want to discuss this morning. Transactional relationships. Have they become so much a part of the norm that that's the explanation that's offered, even in a formal inquiry looking into very serious national security matters? Can you separate love from money, or is it all part of the same things? Two wings of an aeroplane. You can't have one without the other. Can you both be broke and succeed in love, or must at least one of you have money? Kamazela wants to know about your anxiety. What gives you anxiety when, a friend or a boss or a partner contacts you? Is it that message, we need to talk? Please call me after this? And let's talk through your anxiety. What are you assuming when you are now feeling anxious? For me, it's the phone call. When I see a name flash on my screen, my phone is always on silent because I work in a live broadcasting environment. But when I see your name flashing on my screen with no prior warning, gives me anxiety. It feels like you want to confront me about you.
Why do you feel you're anxious?
No, because why are you calling me?
Answer and find out.
No, I need to prepare to think about what I'm going to say.
Not everyone is looking to test you.
Guys, don't call me.
For me, it's missing the call. So I'm more than happy to take the call, but missing it and you send me a text and say, please get back to me as soon as you can. Then
About
now
what?
That is where I
Tell
start
me
to get
what you
anxious.
want.
They don't want to put it in text.
I'm
of
happy to have
course.
missed your call.
They don't want to put it in text. They want you to.
I will write to you and say sorry. I've actually been. I've sat. Confession time.
Yes.
Oh, everybody who's ever tried to call me will hate me after this. I've sometimes sat in the comfort of my couch and said, "Oh, sorry, I can't take a call right now, but can you rather text?"
Just so you can find out what
you.
What's the worst that's happened?
I know. Zozo, you're in Kimberley. A very good morning. You want to talk about money and relationships?
Yes, Bongani. Good morning to Bongani and the team. Beautiful to see you guys on YouTube for the first time, actually, on YouTube.
Oh, we're waving at you, Zozo. We're waving at you.
Yes. Actually, Bongani, it's so funny. It's not new, it's being the money is being a central issue. I remember when I was a student, I did my thesis I was running for the decriminalization and legalization of prostitution of sex workers.
Yeah.
And so I wish now I could go back and rewrite and say, no, because my focal point was always about female. No, it's both genders. Men now, we call them benten. They are going for older ladies because they want money, most of them. Same with women. We are calling them slave queens now. They call them slave queens. They identify themselves. It's always, what is it for me? And yes, as your colleague did mention that, it makes things comfortable. And for instance, with me, I don't mind paying when I say, let's go for lunch, let's grab something. Yes, I will pay because I'm the one who instigated. But no, I don't want the story as next to me.
Hold on, Zozo.
Be able to take.
Would you have a Ben 10?
No, especially a broke one.
Say that again?
Especially a broke one, no.
Oh, you wouldn't have a Ben 10 if they're broke?
No,
isn't the very definition of a Ben 10 that you must be broke? Otherwise, why are you a Ben 10?
No, maybe you just like them mature, you just like to have
Yeah,
different
then you're not a Ben
conversations.
10. You might
Yes.
just be a young person who likes them older, but you're not a Ben 10. To be a Ben 10, you must be broke. No?
Really? No,
I don't know. I'm not a Ben 10. I wouldn't know.
It's because of your age. I think the age that makes you a Ben 10, but immediately it involves money or you're broke ass. Please no. Say no, not
All right.
you.
Zozo.
Go for your age. Yes.
Zozo in Kimberley, watching us live on YouTube.
Good morning. I personally think you cannot separate money from relationships. It would be very, very difficult. I personally am married and my husband takes care of all our finances. So I'm a stay-at-home mom. And he takes care of all our finances, not just household things, but also an allowance for me so I can enjoy myself as I stay home. So definitely no romance with no finance. No.
Good morning, Bongani. This thing, money and love, I take everyone's opinion, fairly so, correct. But by our very own nature, Bongani, humans don't know what they want. If there's an abundance of money, human beings would opt for love. If there's an abundance of love and no money, human beings would opt for money. So the parameters under which love and money will ever so beautifully collide need to be defined. Because as I'm talking to you now, there are people that are in relationships with an abundance of money, but there's no love. And there are people that are in relationships with no money, but there's either love or no love. So I think the parameters need to be clearly defined.
I'll take them both. Thank you very much. Hey, love and money. Wouldn't it be lovely to date someone who earns more than you do? Don, you're in North Riding.
Hi, Bongani.
Hi, you want to talk about phone calls and anxiety?
Hello.
Hi, I can hear you, Don.
Yes, for me, Bongani, it's more of anxiety. I'm normally the kind of person who my parents don't call me because of the type of job that I do. So I'm the one who normally checks up on them because they fly in the Northwest. So what gives me more anxiety is finding a please call me on my phone and I go, yo, something going on. Who passed on? That they normally would only text me when somebody passed on. So that call, immediately I know I have to go and get it elsewhere privately. So that really gets to me. Thank you.
And you have to prepare for that callback, right? You have to sit down and think, breathe in, get those, those brown paper bags, breathe in and breathe out, because now you must call this person back.
Hey, Bungles, with regards to Kabazila's question, when I see my manager's name, I just go like, oh, what is it now? On emails. Without even reading the email, I'm just like, what is it now? Because either I'm being corrected or being questioned about something. And I'm just like, oh. I literally read his mails at a certain time in a day. Because I'm like, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. I'll be happy no matter what. So yeah, I have a slot in my day where I read my manager's emails. Yeah, anonymous.
Hi, it's Margaret here from Rampart Ridge. Yeah, I agree with Bongani. I also don't like calls because for you to call me and not to text me, to be able to text me or send me a WhatsApp, it means it's something very serious and something very urgent. And obviously, I'm going to start panic wondering what it is that you cannot text me about, that you really have to call me about. And in general, I don't like calls. 99% of the times people call me, I don't pick up calls. I'll send you a chat later on and ask, I missed your call, what's up? But I don't like calls. 99% of the times, I'll just look at the phone ringing and I'll not pick it up.
Bongani, there is something wrong with you. How can a phone call give you anxiety? I can understand it from the young ones of today because they grew up in the era of texting. But you, on the other hand, are over 50 years old. You grew up with telephone calls. It was landlines. Now it's cell phone. Voice calls is how we communicate. Bongani, you must go see somebody. Something is not right.
No, you're missing it. The young ones love the phone calls. They're always on phone calls. It's people who grew up with phone calls that no longer want them.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, we paid for units. We had call cards.
We had phone cards. Those would stand at the Telkom public phones.
Exactly.
Right?
I didn't mind calls. I think I can trace it back to when it started being an anxious thing for me. COVID happens. Pandemic lockdowns.
Yeah.
Your parents are here. I'm living in Turkey somewhere. And every time someone calls, I'm thinking, what's happened? Because I can't immediately travel back. After that period, I was just like, I didn't like calls.
So I don't mind the calls so much if I know what we're going to talk about. Prepare me.
So someone must tell you, I'm going to call you at 2:00 and we're going to be discussing.
Submit the agenda right there.
Yeah.
No, hey, firstly, hi, can you take a phone call? I want to discuss blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Let me know when you can talk.
Sure.
Simple. Now I'm also part of the decision making of us having this phone call. I can let you know A, when I'm available, and B, if I want to talk about this.
Point of a phone call is to be able to do it immediately.
No.
Yeah.
Whenever you want.
For me, it's the time of the day that you phone me. If I get a phone call while we are in studio, I know it's an emergency and the person could not have done anything to...
But sometimes it's not.
But sometimes it's not.
Us.
Yes.
And Sine, hi, Tina.
EWN.
21 after 8. Amo, slow traffic on the R24 West.
That's correct, Bongani. This is in the Edenville area. This is just as you approach Edenville Road, about a 20-minute hold up there. But then when you get towards the R24 and the N12 mesh towards the Gililis interchange, traffic starts to flow. And there's also queuing traffic on the N3 North towards the Gililis turnoff coming out of Van Buren. Please do expect delays there and be patient on the roads. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
If you know your putters from your potholes, it's time to win with Auto and General on 702.
All right, let's give away some cash, shall we? Auto and General, shifting your week into high gear. Your shot at big winnings start here. We're putting you in the driver's seat for the world's best drivers competition. Motoring meets golf in a test of skill and speed. Earn 1,000 Rand for each correct answer. And if you've opted in for an obligation-free car or business car insurance quote from Auto and General, your winnings will be doubled. You, of course, must WhatsApp us to 0727021702. Put in the keyword Auto and General, follow the prompts, and we could be calling you. Tabela in Soshanguve has done exactly that and joins us now on the line. Tabela, very good morning to you.
Good morning and happy Friday.
Happy Friday indeed. You know how it works. I've got phrases that I will give to you. You will hear two words or two phrases. You must tell me which belongs to motoring and which belongs to golf. You get 1,000 Rand for each correct answer. Are you ready?
Let's give it a go.
Let's give it a go indeed. If I say to you, driving iron, and I say driver's seat, which belongs to golf, which belongs to motoring?
Driving iron belongs to golf. Driving seat belongs to car.
If I say to you, Gary Player and George Russell, which is golf, which is a car?
Gary Player is car. What is golf?
Gary Player is golf. George Russell refers to the cars. So you don't have that one right. Let's go to greenskeeper versus green light.
Greenskeeper versus green light. Green light is for a car. Greenskeeper is for golf.
That is absolutely right. You get that one right. So far, 2,000 Rand coming to you. Tabela, tell me, have you opted in for an auto and general quote, an obligation-free insurance quote from Auto and General?
Yes, absolutely. I opted in when I enter.
Well, at the very least then, I can give you double your winnings. 4,000 Rand is coming to you.
Thank you, Bong.
Thanks to Auto and General and 702. Congratulations, my man.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Happy weekend and lovely show indeed.
Yes, indeed. I'd say all those things too if I just won 4,000 Rand. Tabela talking to us in Soshanguve.
702. The World View
with Adam Gilchrist.
Adam Gilchrist, who remembers, of course, I'm thinking Ronald Reagan, Mikhail Gorbachev, nuclear deals between the US and Russia, a treaty now coming to its end.
Yeah, it has officially finished. So I don't know, does the world feel a little bit different today because there's no nuclear arms proliferation treaty between America and Russia? Essentially, this kept a check on the number of warheads. I mean, obviously, they still had enough in their arsenals to have destroyed the entire planet several times over, but the idea was keeping a check. They shared information. There were on-site inspections. But now the the US-Russia New START Treaty, as it was called, has run out. Maybe the doomsday clock has just ticked an extra couple of seconds towards midnight, except maybe it's also ticked back again, because whilst America and Russia are not talking nuclear, America and Iran are, and that could be a positive sign. Plus, if there's to be a new treaty, how many more countries should probably be involved? Or is it okay just to have US, Russia, and everyone else sort of comes along for the ride? Maybe China needs to be a major player in that as well now.
They should all just do what we did and give them up, Adam, is what I would say. The Americans at the Winter Olympics, is it a warm welcome?
Well, not so far, but we wait with interest for the opening ceremony of the Winter Olympics tonight. I know that the competition's actually begun, but the way it works with the Olympics, the opening ceremony at the San Siro Stadium in Milan will be tonight. And of course, the athletes will go parading through, but there'll be a very large public presence. And you just wonder if maybe people will make their feelings known, given that the mayor of Milan's already expressed great unhappiness at the presence of those ICE agents from the United States, as he called them, the mayor, a militia that kills. There have indeed been protests on the streets of Milan. I don't think so much in Cortina, where some of the wintry stuff is happening. But the president of the International Olympic Committee, Kirsty Coventry, a Zimbabwean who's seen more than her fair share of jaundiced prejudice, I'm sure, she has said, please, don't boo the Americans. The opening ceremony should be about being respectful, putting sport in perspective. We should unite and be happy and friendly with each other. I myself like booing a pantomime villain at Christmas. It's great fun. But are the Americans all pantomime villains simply because of the presence of ICE agents and the polarizing politics of Donald Trump? Yes, he may not like NATO, the European Union, Greenland, or maybe he likes Greenland too much. But is that a reason to boo all Americans? We will wait and we will hear, I guess, later on.
Now, Adam, how specific are you about balancing chi in your life?
Not very much. How about you?
Feng Shui is a thing.
It is a thing, absolutely. But harmonizing the objects in your life with the environment they're in to create positive energy. That's the notion of feng shui. Well, a woman in an apartment block in Shanghai got a bit obsessed with it. Her husband was complaining about bad luck and ill health. So they got a feng shui master in who said, do you know what your problem is? It's the traffic mirror outside. One of those mirrors where you can see around the bend, you can see if another car's coming.
Yeah.
So she took one look at the mirror, which the master had told her was a demon revealing mirror, and she changed it. She changed its feng shui, which then led to a series of accidents. The council came and changed it back again, but she wasn't done. She moved the mirror that time and again caused rather a lot of car accidents because the drivers couldn't see around the corners anymore. Demons or not, the mirror has now been embedded immovably in concrete. So does she stay put and risk the bad luck and ill health and the demons, or does she move?
The yin and the yang. Adam Gilchrist will have to leave it there for this morning's Worldview.
EWN Business.
All right, let's talk matters. MTN, they're about to make a big acquisition, Mateo.
Yeah, MTN is in talks to pay some 45 billion rand to acquire the remaining 75% stake in IHS Holdings. MTN currently leases IHS as towers in Nigeria and South Africa. The potential offer price is near the tower company's last trading price of $8 on the New York Stock Exchange. MTN has made it clear to shareholders that there is no deal just yet and the transaction may not happen. Now, if the deal goes through, it could affect MTN's share price as it did yesterday. As the shareholders responded to that announcement, MTN shares down 5.7%. But as it stands, MTN is going for IHS.
All right, Boxer sales, they were the hot ticket, but not quite at the moment.
Yeah, you think about it. I mean, Boxer is a discount retailer, so you really think people do go there as the last resort. But it seems that consumers are looking elsewhere for better prices. A discount retailer, Boxer, says despite keeping prices low, the economic pinch kept some of the customers away. Despite the slow sales pickup, a turnover at the company was still close to 12%. A sales momentum slowed in the second half of their financial year, largely due to consumers being more cautious, keeping their purses closed, and some are seeking cheaper options. Boxer absorbed a pricing pressure, keeping prices 1% lower than the previous year.
Your indicators?
Well, they all shared down 2,000 points yesterday as the market really was reeling. All blood on the JSE. Northam down 9%. Implats down 9% as well, with Glencore down 5% yesterday. Some wins for Bidvest. They were up more than 1%, with Kumba Iron Ore up 2.5% yesterday. Rand at this hour, 16 Rand 20 cents. It's gaining on the dollar this morning at 19 Rand 11 cents against the euro and at 21 Rand 99 cents against the British pound. Price of gold at $4,865 an ounce, while platinum is at $2,005 an ounce. Brent crude at $68.29 a barrel. Stephen Grotes with the wrap of the Business Week later this afternoon.
Time now for your latest Eyewitness News. This is a story I've been curious about all week. Mbali Dlamini. Let's go to Madibeng.
Thanks, Bongani. Good morning. 2 bodyguards assigned to Madibeng Mayor Douglas Maimane are expected to learn their bail fate today. The 2 face charges of murder, defeating the ends of justice, and driving a car fitted with blue lights without authorization. The charges follow an incident in January on the R80 Mabopane Highway where the pair allegedly shot and killed South African Air Force Sergeant Michael Swanton. In closing arguments, the state argued that providing for one's children does not constitute exceptional circumstances warranting bail on a Schedule 6 offence. Advocate Chris Marumo further says keeping one's job is also not an exceptional circumstance.
The deceased in this matter, Your Worship, was a father to 2 kids, whom he was also maintaining or supporting. So the very same 2 kids lost. In the Western Cape judgment of Najwa Peterson, the court said exceptional circumstance, it's something unparalleled, something extraordinary, something unusual.
Let's stay in the courts. The Springs Magistrates Court has handed a life sentence to a 39-year-old woman who stabbed her partner to death after discovering he had another girlfriend. In 2024, Nomsombuluko Machola killed Mojalefa Sefali with the help of a male accomplice. The incident happened at the victim's home in Springs in Ekurhuleni. Jabulile Mbata has more.
In June 2024, Nomsombuluko Majola and a male accomplice visited her then partner, Mojalefa Sefali, at his home in Springs, Ekurhuleni. The three of them began drinking alcohol, and then when the deceased was said to be drunk, Majola asked her accomplice to hold down Sefali. Then she began stabbing him. Majola used a pair of scissors and a kitchen knife, stabbing him all over his body. They left the victim in his home, where he was discovered the following day by his neighbors. Upon her arrest in the following days, Majola said she was jealous when she discovered her boyfriend had another girlfriend. The magistrates in the court said Majola did not show any remorse and that the offense formed part of a broader context of gender-based violence, something which had been declared a national disaster in the country. Jabulile Mbata, Eyewitness News.
The Elsies River High School Hall was packed last night for a moving tribute to acclaimed poet and cultural activist Dr. Diana Ferris. Ferris, who died last week, is best known for her iconic poem, I've Come to Take You Home, dedicated to Sarah Baartman. After being showcased in a museum in France for 192 years, Baartman's remains were returned to South Africa in 2002, accompanied by Ferris, whose poem played an instrumental role in the repatriation. Carlo Peterson has more.
Last night, the Elsies River History Society hosted an emotional memorial for Dr. Diana Ferris at Elsies River High School. Moving tributes to the acclaimed poet and cultural activist were heard from fellow poets, her family, and those she had taken under her wing. Also at the memorial was prominent Elsies River spoken word artist and poet Nadine Lottering, who was mentored by Ferris.
She had an amazing impact on my life. She exposed me to many circles where performance poetry was happening. Many people, that came into the country, that did performance poetry, started to see me.
Lottering says Ferris inspired her to continue her legacy by mentoring other young aspiring writers and poets. Carlo Peterson, Eyewitness News.
And in Nigeria, the last group of Christians held captive since criminal gangs attacked 3 churches in Nigeria in January have been released. The 89 worshippers, including children, arrived on a bus escorted by security forces in Kaduna State. Officials confirmed that a total of 183 people were initially abducted during the mass kidnappings. The attacks have piled international scrutiny on insecurity in Nigeria. Parts of Nigeria are currently plagued by armed gangs who loot villages and kidnap for ransom. Kidnappings for ransom are a common way for the armed groups to make quick cash in the conflict-hit nation. A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng today. Temperatures peaking at highs of between 29 and 31 degrees.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the R24 West. This is between Edenville Road and the N12 merge. Please be on the lookout there. While traveling on the M1, Nightmarish, you still have got delays between Empire Road and Corlett Drive due to an accident.
The top story in EWN, 2 bodyguards assigned to Madibeng Mayor Douglas Maimane, accused of murder, are expected to learn their bail fate today.
Congratulations to the recent Powerball jackpot winner who bagged a mind-blowing jackpot of over 178 million rand. Here's what they said.
Winning the second highest ever recorded Powerball jackpot in Mzansi through my FNB banking platform is unbelievable. I only played with a 15 rand wager. Thank you, Tuba, for making my dream a reality.
Play Powerball and Powerball Plus for 41 million rand in total estimated jackpots this Friday, and you could win big. Buy your tickets now in store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app, cell phone banking, or simply dial *120 *7529# for USSD. Panda, Pusha, play. Players must be 18 years old or play responsibly. eTuba is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
Imagine a holiday where the only thing on the to-do list is to enjoy yourself. With NCL, world-class dining, award-winning entertainment, and a variety of onboard experiences come as standard. So enjoying yourself is easy breezy. We sail to over 400 destinations worldwide, including Europe, the Caribbean, and beyond. Your Your dream cruise is calling. Visit ncl.com for the best deals or contact your travel agent today. Conditions apply. Norwegian Cruise Line. It's different out here.
Outsurance business insurance. The cost was far less. I even have better benefits.
Outsurance business insurance clients know that it pays to switch. And did you know you get 24/7 access to panic assistance, roadside assistance, and even office assistance for guest houses, catering companies, and all other businesses. Get a quote today and see why it pays to switch to Outsurance business insurance. Visit outsurance.co.za or call 08600 60,000 today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online. Limits apply.
John Perlman. Weekday afternoons,
3 to 6.
There is a pragmatism that needs to come into these kinds of things. We have massive trade relations with China, for example. What I found interesting in your article is avoiding gratuitous hostility. Tell us what you mean by that.
I am not saying that we should shape our foreign policy simply to appease Washington or Brussels. What I am saying is that there are real economic stakes here that give South Africa preferential access to U.S. markets for many of our products. Now, it supports a lot of jobs in sectors like manufacturing and agriculture.
John Perlman.
3 to 6 on 702.
702 Afternoon Drive with John Perlman is proudly brought to you by Telkom Business. Possible begins here.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Bongani, Auntie Helen definitely sounds shocked, but this is the problem with a mayor who doesn't live in the city. Us as citizens have seen this happening in front of our eyes for 10, 15, 20 years now, including while the city was under the DA leadership. So yeah, I think this is the challenge. Did she know what she was signing up for when she put her hand up to be the mayor of Johannesburg? Outsiders, I think people just simply do not understand the scale of what is going on with our city.
Bongani, this is Heather in Pretoria. What a scary interview with Helen Ziller. And you know, if Johannesburg don't vote for her, I just feel the result will be dire. Corruption and thievery at every level. It's so securely entrenched. But I don't know, somehow I feel Helen's got the gravitas to sort it out. And if she doesn't come in, so sadly, I think Johannesburg is lost. I really do. Thanks for a great show.
Good morning, Bongani. No, I got the same sense. Actually, there was a time where I felt like she was crying, like very / emotional when she was describing the hostel. And I felt like she was sobbing a bit. I don't know. But I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, this hostel in Alexandra, the women's hostel, she's posted a video on social media. So if you want to go see it, you can, I suppose, go check her TikTok account. And the kitchens are filthy. There's sewage pipes that are leaking. And you look at it and you almost, those giant rats you see from Alex? You kind of know where they come from. And the fact that it's a women's hostel, that's what makes it all the more shocking. And you just think, how do people get neglected for so long? On the other hand, if she was a little emotional, she's 74 years old, right? She's been around. And you would think that at 74, you want to retire, man, and leave these problems, let other people try and solve them. So as I said earlier, over the next few weeks, we're going to be speaking to all those who would be mayor of Johannesburg, including the incumbent, if he'll agree, to talk about the problems they have identified and what to do about them. So she's the first in a series of interviews we're going to be conducting over the next few weeks.
EWN Sport.
Catch up now with the world of sport. Cindy Paluta out for the morning, but as always, we welcome Anthony Teixeira. I am wearing my Pirates jersey proudly. I think it's the second one I've worn this week, actually.
Oh, really?
In anticipation of history being made tomorrow.
Hopefully.
I'll wear another one tomorrow.
Yeah, you probably just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Because right now it seems to be working.
I've got enough.
I mean, a week, what? It could be a quadruple.
Yeah.
That's potentially what's on the cards. But yeah, we will start with Orlando Pirates chasing history as they turn their attention to the Nedbank Cup round of 32 clash against TTM at the Moses Mabhida Stadium Saturday afternoon. They've already won the MTN 8 as well as the Carling Cup and are sitting top of the Betway Premiership as they look for immortality and a potential clean sweep of trophies domestically. Tonight, Durban City up against Chippa United. Vasco da Gama will be playing Luthuli Brigades, both kicking off at 7 p.m. For Mamelodi Sundowns, they go in search of a first CAF Champions League group stage win since that opening game. They have the side who knocked out the Buccaneers of the tournament, St. Eloi Lupopo, in the way. Kickoff is 3 p.m. Sunday. At the same time, both Kaizer Chiefs and Stellenbosch will look to reignite the CAF Confederation Cup campaigns heading into the final 2 match days, with both of them outside of their respective groups' qualifying spots. Amakosi will play their final group game at home against Egyptian side Al Mesri, who they lost to in November, while for Stellies it's a challenging trip to Congolese side AS Otoho. The Premier League will begin today with Nottingham Forest heading to Leeds at 10 p.m, while selected matches throughout the weekend will see Saturday lunchtimes kick off with United and Spurs. Arsenal playing Sunderland after that. The highlight of the weekend, for me at least, the Sunday evening when Liverpool hosts City at Anfield. On a slot is reflected on the meeting earlier this season where the Reds were outmuscled 3-0 by Man City.
And you remember is the game we played over there in the first half. We were completely outplayed for large parts, not for the complete 45 minutes, but for large parts. So it's another moment for us to see where we are in the development of this team. That, of course, being said, we also know the importance of a result. It's the end phase of the season, so results matter more and more.
Bafana will be starting their 2026 World Cup preparations with a double international friendly next month against Panama in the country, while switching to 7 series where the Blitzboks have a challenging Pool 8 to navigate in Perth. They have log leaders Fiji, Argentina and Spain to tackle Saturday. In the 15s, it's the opening weekend of the international season with the Six Nations Saturday late afternoon having Italy host Scotland, then England take on what many pundits have called the wooden spoon contender Wales. Opening round already started last night with 5-try wonder France thumping Ireland 36-14. And the Men's T20 Cricket World Cup will get started in Sri Lanka and India this weekend. We have a triple header to indulge Saturday. Pakistan start the day against the Netherlands, while the West Indies then play Scotland, and defending champs India will start their campaign at home against the USA at 3:30. Anthony Teixeira, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
It's 8:45 on the nose. It's been another busy Friday morning. Amma, what are you seeing on your fancy maps?
Yeah, Bongani, especially if you're traveling on the Mike 1 North at this particular moment, we've got that major accident scene that happened early this morning right near the Melrose area. About a 40-minute hold up, even more. So if you are traveling along this route, please be patient. Or if you want to avoid these delays, please try to use the N1 North instead through Randbeck as well as Bryanston. Then traveling on the M1 South, we still have got queuing traffic between Marlborough Drive and Collett Drive. There's also queuing traffic on the N3 North between the Geldenhuys Interchange and Van Buren Road. I'll have more at the top of the hour. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Congratulations to the recent Powerball jackpot winner who bagged a mind-blowing jackpot of over 178 million rand. Here's what they said.
Winning the second highest ever recorded Powerball jackpot in Mzansi through my FNB banking platform is unbelievable. I only played with a 15 rand wager. Thank you, Tuba, for making my dream a reality.
Play Powerball and Powerball Plus for 41 million rand in total estimated jackpots this Friday, and you could win big. Buy your tickets now in store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app, cell phone banking, or simply dial *120 *7529# for USSD. Panda, Pusha, play. Players must be 18 years old or play responsibly. eTuba is a proud operator of the National Lottery.
The Checkers Hyper Price Drop is here. Save up to 40% on deals like Coca-Cola Assorted Soft Drinks 300ml 24-pack bottles for 159 rand each. Cadbury Assorted Mini Chocolate Bags, any 5 for 199 rand. Save 41 rand. And Finish Dishwashing Tablets, 30s plus 14s Value Pack, buy 2 for 299 rand. Save 61 rand. Deals valid until this Sunday, only at Checkers Hyper.
Hi, this is Anlia Itzebet, Hollywood Bets brand ambassador. A reminder that you can still shoot for the stars while playing responsibly. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling toll-free counseling line on 0800 006 008. or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
Coming up
On the Clement Manyatela Show.
on 702.
All right, Clement Manyatela on your radio between 9 and 12.
Good
And he's
morning.
expecting me to ask him about that feature on a Friday, but I'm not. Instead, I'm going to just keep it wide open and say, what's in the show
Keep it
today?
wide open. Okay. At 11
It's
o'clock.
not 11 o'clock yet, Clement. What's
11
on the
o'clock.
show?
At 11 o'clock.
Broadly speaking.
Starting at 11 o'clock, we're going to have our regular
This is
feature.
the adult feature.
This is the adult feature.
So if
and
you're not an
today
adult,
you shouldn't
close your
listen.
ears
Yeah.
now.
So this is our regular sexual health Q&A with Professor Shingai and Dr. Mpume Zenda. These are really renowned sexual health experts. So take the opportunity to call in at 11 o'clock with all your sexual health related questions. At 10 o'clock, we're going to do the Across the Desk feature. And today I am hosting motivational speakers on Across the Desk. What questions have you always wanted to ask motivational speakers? I've got mine and I'd like you to.
You know my difficulty with motivational speakers?
What is it?
So they all expect us to buy their book and, follow their tips. None of them ever say, I got to where I did because I listened to a motivational speaker.
I mean, some of them tell you they were inspired by
a
Mama
motivational
or,
speaker.
Yes, or they
So why am
read
I not
that
reading that
book
guy's
everybody
book?
reads. What is that book, 5 a.m. Club?
So why am I not reading that guy's book?
Because this is a new generation. That guy wrote the book so that they can be these guys.
I'll make sure to be
These
out of
guys-
the building before they arrive.
You
They'll
better.
They'll throw Russian eggs at me.
No, but I've got my own questions. Like, I've always wondered, I mean, I don't read self-help books because honestly, I don't think that our journeys are not the same. So even the 5 a.m. club, I may not be the person that deals well with waking up at 5 a.m. And my problem is, don't curate your motivation and make it a blanket approach
you.
of this is the silver bullet.
Just because you can run comrades doesn't mean I can.
Right?
Just because you play golf doesn't mean I can.
Right?
Just because you travel as much as you do overseas, as often as you, doesn't mean I can.
Right?
Clement Manyatela on your radio between 9 and 12.
When the brightest brains collide in the biggest general knowledge quiz in Gauteng, it's time for the Brain of 702.
All right, let's give away some cash, shall we? The Brain of 702 is back. Time to put your brilliance on display. Prove your mental might. There's 130,000 Rand in the kitty. You are the Brain of 702. So there's 1,500 Rand for this round. Another 1,500 Rand later. If you play on 702 Drive with John Pullman, the Brain of 702, your brain, our stage. Our two contestants this morning are Luyanda, who of course is not doing this for the first time. Luyanda, 6 correct answers yesterday. Are you ready to do better?
Yeah, let's say if I can get 7 or more, I will be
7 or more is your target.
Yes.
How are you feeling?
Ready, little bit nervous. But
What's your
let's
strongest
do it.
point?
Geography and mathematics.
Geography and mathematics. Okay, I'll bear that in mind. Luyanda, stay on the line. You're up against Kwazi. Kwazi, how are you feeling?
Hi, Bongani. Little bit nervous, but let's see how it goes.
What you aiming for? 7 or better, says Luyanda.
Hopefully 7 or better. We'll have to see.
Your strong point?
I would say I'm decent at geography or sport.
Okay, both of you choosing geography. I will certainly bear that in mind. All right, you know how it works. I've got 60 seconds. You have to give me as many correct answers in that time as possible. 15 questions is the maximum. The contestant with the most correct answers will be the winner. And of course, if the scores are equal, we'll play sudden death. Did you listen on Monday when Clement was playing sudden death? It was more dramatic than the Australian Open, right? Hopefully it won't come to that, but let's see. Luyanda, you're up first as our reigning champ. Are you ready to play, my friend?
Yes, I'm ready.
Here we go. KG, start the clock.
3, 2, 1.
Spell the word abalone.
APOLONY.
ABALONE. How many syllables are there in the river name Mississippi?
3.
4. A person in which profession is sometimes called a sparky?
Pass.
Electrician. A lack of vitamin C could cause what disease? Tuberculosis or scurvy?
Scurvy.
Correct. Complete the saying, his bark is worse than his what?
His packet.
His bite. True or false? The first animal that was cloned was a calf called Harry.
False.
Correct. A part of which country lies on a peninsula? Malaysia or Nepal?
Nepal.
Malaysia. In which country was the soccer hero Diego Maradona born?
Argentina.
Argentina is absolutely correct. A rough one there for you. Luanda, not quite the 7 or better that you had hoped for. And the geography question let you down, hey? The geography question let you down. Yeah, go bad. But you never know. You never know, Luanda. I promise you, people have gone ahead to the next round at times with 2 correct answers. You, my friend, have 3 correct answers. Stay on the line and let's see if you'll still be the brain. Kwazi, 3 or better, my friend.
Okay.
3 or better. That's what you have to do. KG, start the clock.
3, 2, 1.
Spell the word mollusk.
Can you repeat that?
Spell the word mollusk.
Pass.
MOLLUSC. How many syllables are there in the state name Massachusetts?
4.
Correct. A person in which profession is nicknamed a bean counter?
Cashier.
An accountant. A lack of vitamin D could cause which disease? Rickets or hepatitis?
Rickets.
Correct. Complete the saying, let the punishment fit the what?
Crime.
Correct. True or false? Louise Brown was the first baby born after in vitro fertilization.
True.
Correct. A part of which country lies on a peninsula? Switzerland or Greece?
Greece.
Correct. In which country was the soccer hero Pele born?
Brazil.
Correct. Which country has a red dragon as its national animal? Ireland or Wales?
Wales.
Correct. Wales is indeed the correct answer. Not much drama there. I think it's a clear winner. Kwazi, as you aimed, 7 or better, right? That was your goal? 7 correct answers is what you got. Luanda, hard luck, my friend. Kwazi, Kwazi got 7 or better. Hey?
Congrats to us. Yeah, congratulations.
All right. At least you won it. At least you won something yesterday. Kwazi, you, my friend, are our reigning brain. Congratulations. You've won 1,500 rand.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You'll play again with John Perlman this afternoon. And if you're still standing after that round, you'll be the brain of the day and continue to battle for brilliance, hey?
Okay.
All right. Okay. Kwazi, all calm, cool, and collected. For your chance to prove your mental might and to win a share of 130,000 Rand, visit primemediaplus.com to register. You could become the brain of 702 and walk away with the ultimate general knowledge prize.
This year is the year. I'll be catching flights and not feelings. Serving looks Monday to Sunday. 5 a.m. club. Small things. I'll be awake before a Hadida can even say, this year things are gonna change.
Okay, so what would you like to order then?
Just hit me with the usual. Kota chicken, single chips, and a roll.
Oh, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Get the Nando's flame grilled quarter chicken, single chips, and roll for only 82 Rand. Nando's. Oh, what a place.
Do you suffer from heartburn and hyperacidity? To relieve heartburn for the whole day and night with one tablet, a potent once-a-day treatment which was previously prescription only is now available over the counter. Ask your pharmacist for an over-the-counter, long-lasting heartburn treatment. Brought to you by Sandoz.
The team's on a roll today. Let me focus on payroll. Duty calls in the kitchen. That's why I have a business insurer that is agile and on the ball all the time on all things. I chose My Way Business Insurance, getting 24/7 emergency service and saving on my premiums, plus My Business Assist to handle my admin.
Visit myway.co.za or dial 0860 64 64 64 and get a quote today. My Way is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's, C's and standard rates apply. My Way. Live your way.
Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa.
Unforgettable, that's what you are.
Unforgettable, though near or far.
Like a song of love that clings to me. How the thought of you does things to me. Never before has someone been more
unforgettable in every way
and forevermore. That's how you'll stay.
That's how you'll stay.
That's why, darling, it's incredible that someone so unforgettable thinks that I am unforgettable too.
Oh, the great Nat King Cole singing with his daughter Natalie Cole. Nicole Cole. It's a Friday, I'm allowed. Unforgettable, that duet recorded, of course, long after Nat King Cole had left this world. I'm sad to say both of them are no longer around, but it would have been Natalie Cole's birthday today, as it would have been Bob Marley's. I couldn't choose. They're both special in their own ways, very different from each other, and the music wins. It's 9 o'clock.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Bali Dlamini. Alleged crime boss Vusimuzi Matlala is expected back in the Johannesburg High Court this morning. Last week, Matlala, his wife Tsakane, and 3 others appeared in the High Court. Matlala is expected back in the Johannesburg High Court this morning. Last week, Matlala, his wife Tsakane, and 3 others appeared in the High Court for a pre-trial hearing. But Matlala